How do you know that if you're not?
It wasn't a chat room. It was a one-on-one with somebody that you know. No, not a FaceTime necessarily. I mean,
just texting on the phone.
Yeah, texting, talking on the
texting, sexting.
Yeah, but it's cybering.
Is that?
Yeah, you can send voice recordings.
Reading while you do it. You can just open up a book.
Little pics. Oh, yeah.
Do you ever take a selfie of yourself and send it to your gal pet?
Especially with that hog you're managing.
Oh!
I sent a hog pic or two. Yeah. I mean, I had to do a Dropbox.
You got my number, right?
Send it, but...
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Watch TMA on YouTube. Click the bell to subscribe. Download the podcast. Find it at tmastl.com or wherever you podcast. And check us out on TikTok at TMASTL.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
The Illinois Recovery Center is dedicated to providing precise and authentic care to those seeking help and treatment. Whether you've made the life-saving choice to seek help on your own or you want to be prepared for the other end of an addiction intervention with a loved one, the chance to learn about addiction recovery is available to you at the Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or email info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
The Morning After has your chance to win tickets to see Hootie and the Blowfish. Collective Soul. Edwin McCain. On the Summer Camp with Trucks Tour, Saturday, June 1st, 2024 at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Open up your TMA mobile app and enter keyword Hootie to win. That's keyword Hootie on your TMA mobile app.
Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
707 in St. Louis. Louis and TMA, presented by Brown and Crouppen.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it is. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Sullivan Vaughn, Darren Atkins, and Jackson Burkett. Ken Strode retired yesterday.
He's not with us today, apparently.
He will. He is looking at opportunities to bring his talents to South Beach.
He's going to Miami?
That's right.
All right. Well, he's kind of a Miami kind of guy.
I agree with you.
He had the Miami Vice thing going in the 80s. And so he'll fit in well down there.
I look forward to it. We appreciate his time on the program, and we wish him the best.
He has those teenage friends there. Was it Kai?
Oh, yeah, SGO Kai.
Yeah.
Iggy, you still checking in with SGO Kai?
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, yes. His retirement's over.
No, he's got a lot going on, man.
I bet he does.
Well, he does. He's
what?
Well, he's got this rental company. He's got his swag he's selling. He's at these merchandise shows every week.
He's liquidating us.
He's bought into this. There. Hook, line, and sinker, haven't you?
He just seems to always be places. He's got rappers he's promoting.
Well, the one truth we know is everyone online is who they say they are.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Well, I can see his Instagram posts. He's not faking all these people at his booth.
Okay. He's got a booth?
Take that, dirty
He
rat.
goes, he's got his SGO Kai rolling papers. He's got his...
Does that mean he's selling anything?
I guess he's got. I think he's part of a marijuana company too. I mean, the kid's got it going.
Oh, does he? Okay.
I haven't talked to him. I text him every once in a while.
Yeah, what's he have to say?
It's Betty. God, what was her name? Betty Houston, who I talked about one time. I don't know what
Betty Houston sounds like she'd be 90 years old.
No, she's changed her name now to Slow Bunny.
Bunny.
She thinks she's a rapper now. She's got these songs coming. It's all techno. What's the one where you basically just talk into a box and it kind of like that Cassie girl.
I don't know.
She's just
Stacey McMillan.
What's it called?
Stacey McMillan.
That's right. I didn't have my headphones on. But she's like one song after another. It's all the same. They call me Slow Bunny. I'm doing my honey. And it's just, and she thinks she's a rap star. She's just.
And you listen to that type of music?
It pops up on my Instagram.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, there's the SGO Kai update.
We just thought you were kind of a South Florida kind of guy.
Well, he is.
No, you. We thought maybe you would fit in well if you went back down there. Key West.
Well,
maybe.
now, back in one of my 30s, I'd really fit in. Now I'd fill in with the Palm Beach white shoes crowd.
Palm Beach crowd.
You're a Palm Beach guy?
Yeah, Palm Beach white shoes guy.
With the Kennedys there.
Playing croquet.
Doug, did you watch that JFK documentary I recommended last night?
No, I watched
You were watching
the
Blues and
Yes,
the
I did.
Lightning. 5-0?
Yeah.
What in God's name is going on with your St. Louis Blues?
They've got it all figured out for sure.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the Avalanche and the Lightning played for the Chalice 2 years ago, and they've outscored them 13-2 in their last two matchups.
Right. Everything has fallen into place. This team we thought didn't have any offense now has lots of offense. The defense that we were so concerned about looks terrific.
Has Berube made any changes?
Yes, the defensive system has been the change, I think. Colton Parayko looks like a hell of a player all of a sudden.
Looks like they've taken the chains off him and say, go, do what you want to do.
Skate boys skate.
Yeah.
Jeremy Rutherford's going to join us coming up at 9 o'clock. He takes two-part questions. He said at the trivia night, which he attended on Saturday, he got nothing but two-part questions when people recognized him.
Really?
So isn't that nice that you can live that way? That you can live
Probably
out your
not.
show dreams in person?
Our guests, they seem to enjoy the two-part questions. I think Lisa Ann does.
She prefers them.
And now Ruthsy seems to enjoy it.
That's correct. That's actually correct. Here is what Craig Berube had to say about a Jim Dandy last night down at Enterprise.
Hit the lever.
There wasn't a lot going on, to be honest with you, in the game, I thought, in the first period. But I think from a defensive standpoint, checking standpoint, we're pretty solid, disciplined, staying out of the box. And then, did a good job of finishing on some plays and scoring, and then staying with it.
Torrey Krug, how do you do?
Couple of nice assists.
Chicken dinner?
Cairo, a couple of tallies.
Yeah. He's either on or he's off. And on last night. So, Doug, if the playoffs were to end today, and they are starting next week, they would take on the defending Cup champions and Alex Pietrangelo.
Well, I wouldn't think Vegas wants anything to do with this.
I agree with you.
Justin Falk still on the team?
Yes. Yes.
My son's favorite player. I'm not sure why.
Well, he's a good player.
Does he do anything?
Yes, he's had a fine year.
I'm just asking.
What's your deal with Justin Falk?
I got a Justin Falk Blues hat for Gobble Bowl. I was just curious if he's any good anymore.
Yes, he's a good player. Yeah.
Doug, he wears the A on his sweater?
I believe he does, yeah.
It's a nice Blues hat. I've never seen one of these before. It's like light blue with the Blues yellow and blue and kind of like, I think, a yellow bill. It's kind of cool looking.
And
Jesus, stop the hockey talk. It's still preseason until January 15th. Jesus, it's boring.
Gosh.
Some Peg Diaz,
Come
Doug.
on, Peggy.
Well, Doug, what would you like to talk about to pivot off of what Peg would like to talk about?
Well, I guess Mizzou is number 9.
Number 9 in the country. I was watching that live last night, and I thought they were right in between Duke and Michigan State and Kansas and Kentucky and Calipari. Who won that, by the way? Jackson, I assume.
Kansas won.
Did they?
They were down 14 for a while. I was watching. They were down 14. They roared back.
That's going to be huge come March.
Dickinson had like 27 points and 21 rebounds.
I'm like, aren't the college football playoff rankings tonight? I'm curious really more curious if Georgia passed Ohio State, because I thought they should, if I'm following what this committee is doing. They did. But then I'm like, oh, yeah, Gabe said it's important that Missouri's ahead of Penn State, Ole Miss, And so I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, they're not number 11. Sweet, they'll be number 10. And then number 10 pops up, and it's one-loss Louisville. And I go, bitch, they're number 9 in the country. And sure enough, take a listen. Here is the reveal last night on ESPN.
All right, Plowsy, hit the lever, please.
Look at number 9. Number 9 and up 5 spots, the Missouri Tigers. Kirk, what do you think about that?
Good. I love it. I absolutely love it. That is a great football team. Gave Georgia all they could handle. We actually had the football down 27-21 until the big fella, Stackhouse, had the interception. So this is a deserving ranking. You can say, what about the 2 losses? I don't care. Watch them play. They're very, very sound on both sides of the football. The way Brady Cook has emerged, they got great back, great receivers, great defense. That's a great job by the committee putting them up in the top 10.
And you know, it also might be an indication of whether Georgia can move to the top spot, the respect they've given Missouri by moving them up after that win against Tennessee.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. Love Kirk Herbstreit. I think he's the best in the business with college football.
Yeah. Well, he's got probably the most important job in TV.
Yeah, but he
he
doesn't try to be funny. He doesn't try to talk down to people. He's just a good analyst.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Doug, do you call him Herbie when you see him?
I've never seen him, but if I do, Herbie it shall be.
Nice.
Do you call him Herbie or Mr. H Street?
I always say Mr. to people.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello, Mr. Herbstreit.
Mm-hmm.
Want to be on an HD2 show?
No. Somebody, you see him in the morning.
We just acted out a scene.
Yeah. You see him in the morning on game day at 10:30, 11, and then you see him in some other city doing the analyst work that same day.
I think they were in Tuscaloosa for Alabama LSU, and then if I'm not mistaken, he was in L.A. that night. I mean, of course, this is all mathematically possible. You hop on a private jet and, I don't know, Doug, would you land in Santa Monica private airport? And you would always fly into Santa Monica's private
airport. That's right, I did. Yeah, when I did my silver screen work.
Did that changed? Because they used to, game day used to be at the game that they were going to do that night, didn't they?
Perhaps back in the day, but he certainly is flying out, I would say probably about 80% of the time to a different game.
Yeah.
But, Missouri being number 9, Georgia moved up. And Florida State is still 4, Washington 5. That's not really an issue for the Huskies at the moment because Ohio State, Michigan, one of them is going to lose in 10 days in Ann Arbor. So then at that point, if Washington is able to beat Oregon State in Corvallis, and Doug, you have been warning us all year, Saturday night in Corvallis, best of luck to the visitor.
It's dark and there's lots of trees around there.
Foliage is not your friend.
And that's what spooks these visiting clubs.
And then Washington State, they're playing against their 2 friends from the Pac-12 who will form their own conference, the 2-team Washington State-Oregon State Conference. And they have a chance to blow up the Pac-12 undefeated Washington Huskies before the Pac-12 championship. So if they can win out, they would be in. Florida State still undefeated at 4, and then you have Ohio State at 2 now, and Michigan is at 3. So Missouri is 1 back of Alabama. Doug, if there was a 12-team playoff this year, the Tigers would be heading to Tuscaloosa to take on Nick Saban in the first round.
Who'd you say was 7 and 6?
7 is Texas. 6 is Oregon.
Okay. I like the way Alabama's playing.
Okay. That's a standalone comment right there.
That's just my comment. I said I'd probably have them ahead of Texas.
I was still thinking about Kirk Herbstreit and how important you must feel when they need you live in Athens, Georgia at 11 in the morning, and then the second it's over, hustle you to a private plane, fly clear across the country, and now you're in L.A. at night because your analytic abilities are so keen that they must have you on all the time.
And then, Doug, on the Tuesday night college football playoff show, which I gather is from his home, I think he got out of Columbus because the Ohio State fans were mad at him, even though he went there. So I think he moved to Nashville. So he does it from, I would assume, he's, 8, 9 o'clock. He's not going into a studio. Then, Doug, when he gets done with that on Tuesday night, I would imagine he is flying to whatever Amazon game is tomorrow night to do an NFL game. Then he, most likely heads to that college town, I would assume, after that. But from, mid-January through mid-August, he probably gets to hang out and enjoy his millions. And
It's a great deal. Joe Buck used to have some wild months there when he was doing baseball and football at the same time.
Yeah, I think he is enjoying life a lot more now.
Yeah. Remember when he used to do the World Series and he'd fly to a football game and come back and do the World Series again?
Yeah.
Man. And pull it all off like it was nothing.
They're not on HD2. I'm not trying to dunk on Joe Buck.
I'm not sure he could do that.
Thank you.
He can do a lot.
300 fans showed up here at the Spreckles Theater tonight. They had plenty to say. Now, the Spreckles, you may know, is named after a sugar magnate. But there was nothing sweet about how this forum started.
Right.
I wonder if he'd like to be a local news reporter.
Right.
Again, I'm not sure he could pull it off.
Thank you.
And HD2 is not for everyone.
That's right.
You're pretty much born with HD2 talent. And if you don't have it, you ain't got it. There's no way to get it.
Oh, yeah. Right when my parents noticed I didn't really have fine motor skills, they go, this guy is...
Maybe he can talk.
That was the issue. They noticed you struggled with fine motor skills.
My parents and my mom actually came out and told me that, like, I was with Madison, we were eating dinner. And she goes, I never told you this, but you had terrible fine motor skills. We were worried about you.
Yeah, there is a correlation between fine motor skills and intelligence.
Yeah, I agree.
There is.
So I had to really fight for that little bit I have.
I would have loved to have watched Kirk Herbstreit make out with Kenny Chesney. Doug, that's simply Pibbles.
What?
Did he?
What do you mean, did he? No, he didn't. It's a stupid text like all the others.
I thought maybe they had a peck or something at a game day.
A peck at a game day?
I'm sure Kenny Chesney's been on game day. They bring all these...
Why would they kiss?
They bring all these musicians and athletes into game day when they're
one
there.
at a time, but why would they kiss?
I don't know. Just maybe it was a bet or something. Maybe Kirk or maybe Luke Horsock. Not so fast, my friend. I went in this.
Oh.
Over under 6. Those are the number of minutes Iggy has watched Alabama play this year. That's from Shafty McShamus.
Wait, lose that, Bex. I watch them almost every week.
Wow. You're Alabama USC through and through.
I watch all the football games. I mean, it's amazing on YouTube. I mean, you chop on YouTube and you just scroll. There's like 15 football games you can watch. And I love watching Milroy play. I love watching Craig Williams play. I just like good quarterbacks.
You went over 2 on that one, big dog.
It's Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. What
Milrow.
I said Craig Williams.
I'm sure I said Caleb. Why would I not know my man crush?
You said Craig.
Buck Swope is sending the audio in as we speak.
You know what I meant.
I just looked up Kirk Herbstreit, Kenny Chesney OnlyFans leaks and found nothing. That's from KG and O-Town.
Well, I don't think it'd be on there.
KG and O-Town will be in tomorrow and Friday, Doug. I will also be in. I just won't be doing the shows.
Oh.
So I will be in here.
And what was over 2? Did I not say Milroy?
It's Milrow. Jalen Milrow.
I put a Y on the end.
Right. And I think some people do.
Yeah. I think it's a silent Y.
I love you, Plow Plow. That's from Steven time.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, great. Grandpa Roll Tide, puke me. That's from Flocky the Smurf. Who is Craig Williams? Grandpa Pouts. That's from Sex. Good morning. Just tuning in for what I'm assuming is I Ken-jacking. Also, miss you already, Mr. Tim. Doug, that's from Brian Henson. And the Colts are trying to get things going.
Well, it's not a hijacking. We've been talking football.
Right.
So if you've been listening.
Doug Gabe was talking football last night. And he does his he did a little YouTube as the rankings came out. Take a listen because our audience watches when Gabe does these.
Well, fascinating.
Matter if Alabama follows below Missouri. Timmy Walters, I'm not going to answer the question, but I do appreciate the super chat, just kind of jumping on, and the YouTube's been growing, and we've had a lot of people interested in Mizzou football, so I wanted to jump on here with you.
What question did Timmy Walters?
I think the brine of the.
No, I gotcha. The question that Timmy Walters asked with a $6 super chat was best bathroom stall in Columbia to enjoy a meal in.
Oh gosh!
So he spent
I have the video if
$6.
anyone wants it.
You got to pay to get on there?
No, if you want Gabe to see it and he has to respond to it, you pay the money.
Oh God!
And Timmy Walters knows how to circumvent that whole process and just pay the $6.
I think the U.S. tax code allows you to write that off.
We could have a Gabe collective of like $300 and just start funneling.
Right. If Missouri's top 10, it's it's not. It's a taxable.
Do you think they text or email in those questions and then just sit back and laugh like they just wrote a great joke for Rodney Dangerfield or something?
I think they should, because I think they did. They delighted millions of fans watching the Colonel talk it over last night as Herbie broke it down. Mr. Herb Street to you. It is the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour here on TMA. Secret number, Doug. Here it is, 314-252-0029. They say I say it too quickly on 101 ESPN.
Well, it's okay. Slow down, then.
Well, I think it's a different...
And they're slower over there.
I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying... So here, watch this.
Okay.
314.
Sure.
252-0029.
Straight to the muckety-mucks.
Yep, there you go. Now you're talking to Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, Peter Munganess, Ryan Stryberg in the service department. And even if you didn't get your car from Munganess, get it serviced at Munganess St. Louis Acura and Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota. They're online at stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. Get your new cars there. Get your pre-owned cars there. Work with the best. It's Munganess St. Louis Acura and Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota, official automotive provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast, and the presenting sponsor of Balloon Party. Jackson, what's coming up on Balloon Party today? So much going on with the Blues, red hot. Missouri, number 9 in the country. That hot stove, Doug. Oh, wow, it's warming up.
Stove, yeah.
WBW, Wide Berth Wednesday.
Oh, gosh. Thoroughfare Thursday.
It'll be our last balloon party of the week, so we got to bring it strong.
How about that? Are you gonna? What are you gonna do tomorrow from 10 to 11?
Oh, who knows? The world will be my oyster.
You got a lot of appointments lined up?
No. Maybe ball strike tomorrow. Could be a ball striking day.
You'll run some errands for me if you want.
Nice.
I'm sure that's what he wants to do.
Well, I'm going to get back to you.
Let me know. Yeah.
What sort of errands you have for him?
I got to go pick up a bunch of stuff.
Wow.
It's Gobble Bowl week. Yeah, we have this luncheon today, and I've got to go to Ray Orf's Pro Shop, pick up the trophies. I got to go to Chaffetz Arena, pick up a Travis Ford basketball. I got something else I got to do. You think they'd notice me if I wasn't at the luncheon?
Doug?
No.
Huh? Well, you really don't blend in.
Well, the Riz Show kind of outed us last time. They had that... Well, we had that appreciation luncheon up at the veranda at City Place, and they were talking on the show. I said, anybody see TMA there? I said, yeah, I saw Tim and Jackson. No sign of Iggy. Oh, thanks for outing me on the thing.
Heck of a story.
Well, I want to go, but I got so much to do.
Okay.
I don't want them to think I don't appreciate the luncheon they're going to have. That
Who's having the luncheon?
It's just Hubbard. It's
a Hubbard lunch.
It's kind of like I think it's a.
Is that? I honestly that's today.
Yeah, today from 12 to 3.
No, I guess I'll be here.
I didn't know
you'll
that.
be here, but it's kind of like a potluck thing. They're supplying the ham and the turkey and that, but people are bringing dishes.
Oh.
So it's kind of like a pre-Thanksgiving meal.
I love going to things where I don't bring anything, but I load it up. It's
bad form. Bad form.
I know.
Load it up.
May just do a pop in and let everybody else.
Yeah, you'll be here anyway. Just
cook it.
I was here till 6 last night. And you know who came rolling out at 5:15? Jackson Burkett was still here at 5:15.
Doing what?
That's a great question. The hell are you doing here till 5:15?
So like I have a pretty like steady rule that if I'm here at 4, I might as well stay till 5 because
Do you like that?
Traffic? Beat traffic?
No, because traffic sucks. And so I'm going to be sitting in traffic no matter what. So I might as well finish everything I have to do for the day here. And just in general, I prefer to do my work here. Like once I do certain aspects of my job, I could probably do everything at home. But I am more efficient if I get it done here. And so there are some things I have to take care of. And it came to a point where I was like, you know what? I'll just hang out here. Took an extra long lunch and hung around.
What sort of things you taking care of?
Stuff for social media coming up. We got just things I do every day. I don't know what to tell you. This is my job. Doing my job. It's not really all that interesting.
Okay.
Very cryptic.
Things he does every day.
Probably getting ready for the Wide Berth Wednesday.
Yeah. Put some stuff together for that. Just doing my thing.
What do you have to put together when you're just relying on phone calls?
Phone calls?
Yeah.
Mic drops.
We play like one mic drop a month.
And it's usually the same gentleman.
We've yet to play anything else. So, yeah, that's
I think there's an older lady who listens to the show, doesn't like it. It's kind of surprising. That's usually my target demo. What is her name? Is it Janet?
Yeah.
think she left us one time. But otherwise, it's Stephen Wildwood who's not happy. I think he might have left one yesterday and we didn't play it. And then he'll call you Vladimir Burkett.
That's right. That's right. Yes, because I censor. That's part of my job. Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes it's like better to be here. Like if I have a question for somebody who works in sales or something, I just prefer to go talk to them as opposed to send an email out.
Yeah, do you take 40 home? So you got to hit that Big Bend?
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. It took me 35 minutes to get home last night.
Brutal billiards.
Where did I go? God, I went somewhere this weekend.
You went to St. Gabe's. You were telling me about it.
Oh, St. Gabe's, yeah.
Jackson's helping along.
Jackson, why don't you take the story from
Morgan Freeman and Jessica Tandy at the end of Driving Miss Daisy.
You might as well tell the story because I'll probably forget half of it. No, it was Saturday going to St. Gabe's, and I was on 40 for like 30 minutes. And then you got past Big Ben, wide open. There you go. It's just stupid.
Phenomenal what has happened there, considering 15 years ago they shut the thing down to improve traffic flow, and it's worse.
What'd you think when you put 3 lanes there and you got the far right lanes trying to get in the middle's trying to get in the left's trying to get onto 40? You think it's going to go smoothly?
I would like to hire Buck Swope for just a privately funded passion project to do a deep dive and do what he did for Tower T. That's who we need, Doug. Buck Swope. You want a problem solved? Buck Swope is your man.
Well, you probably have to shut down the highway again to fix it. You want to shut down for 2 or 3 years?
How come it didn't get? Because I believe sources tell me there was a plan to fix it, but then there was a little pushback from a powerful place. And
I thought they ran into problems with the overpasses, the bridges on the roads. They would have had to blow them up and start over to widen parts of 40.
Well, Buck Swope's going to be, it's a passion project.
Yeah, because there's really no...
It's like Medellin for me.
No.
There's no traffic on Saturday night, but it becomes traffic at Big Bend.
Well, the Blues were playing, the Cardinals were playing, and the Doggies were playing.
Saturday?
Yep.
I don't think so.
No.
Missouri had a game at the Dome?
Oh.
That could have been it.
It was nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe they're all coming out of that promenade there.
Well, it's all the people moving inside of the city limits.
Yeah.
To get closer to the monster truck rally.
Yeah, it might have been the trivia thing.
Going to St. Gabe's, I guess.
They can't build houses fast enough to answer the demand of people moving back to the city.
Thank you.
There's probably construction materials going down.
And virtually 0 empty office buildings.
That's correct.
None
I mean,
that you can find.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Jackson, can you run errands for me? Jackson, what was my story from the weekend? Jesus, Grandpa, Virginia Slim, he ain't your grandson. That's from Sex.
Well, I was
Sex
kidding.
today.
I really don't think Jackson's going to go pick up things for me today, so it was tongue-in-cheek, but just pick and choose what you think is real.
Doug, his 6440 always had traffic this bad. That's from Brian Henshin, traffic reporter, Indianapolis.
It's always kind of been the main artery of St. Louis, I think.
But you say Yahweh has a highway and it's I-44.
44, yeah. Let's go 44.
Yeah, there's never traffic on
Rarely
there.
traffic there. At least between 270 and downtown.
When I get and I start heading, of course, through Huntley, where else am I going to be heading? And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, I'm going on 40. And I realize it's 6:30 at night, but I know, it's like I'm driving around Los Angeles once you get on 40 eastbound because of the magic of the reconstruction that now has created more traffic. I go, why didn't I use Doug Vaughn's Yahweh's Highway of I-44?
Yeah, you could. Where you live, you can get on 44
Absolutely.
as quickly as you can get on 40.
Oh, I'm mad as a hornet that I didn't do it.
You should see 40 at like 4:30, 4:45 in the morning. The exact opposite. It's like 80 miles an hour. Just people flying.
All right.
Oh, dude, it's, I don't know how people can casually go 90.
I noticed 270 between like 44 and 40. On Friday, there's like no traffic at all. And the other days, it's pretty heavy. When I leave at, 6:30 to 7, that half hour is pretty heavy. But on Friday, it's a breeze. If people just not work on Friday,
Yeah, a lot of
they
people
not go in on
home.
Friday.
A lot of people going to that 4-day work week.
All right.
No.
All of my buddies are remote on Fridays.
Sweet Kai?
Sweet Sweet Kai is always remote.
Madison works remote Monday and Friday.
Yeah. I have
Must be a lot of them because you can sure tell on the highways.
They're out getting that ass on Friday.
I don't know that that's it.
They're getting that ass.
I don't know.
Text in if you're getting that ass. Do you want to support the EDF Group as the tech sponsor of TMA? It's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes. You certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out
and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is high and will prevent your silly high fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at the edfgroup.com. Whoever is signed off on the 6440 redesign should be butt banged into oblivion. That's from former fan page moderator Neil Allen Craig Paquette, who says he wants to become the Balloon Party fan page moderator.
There's no worse feeling than being a half mile, east or west of Brentwood Boulevard and sitting in stop and go traffic. You know it's going to be the same way all the way till McCausland.
Because, of course, my family owns most of Huntley now. We acquired it from the Orthwines when we bought Hubbard.
Sure.
Hopping on 40 eastbound from Lindbergh and then driving approximately a quarter of a mile before you're like, oh, I'm on the 101 in Los Angeles at 6:30 with no games downtown is phenomenal.
I always thought when they had that highway shut down, that was the perfect time to run a Metrolink track right down the middle of it. If you're serious about trying to move people from far west county to downtown and back and forth, that would have been the chance. That would have been the opportunity to do it.
Like BART in the San Francisco area. Bay Area Rail Transit, and that runs up and down the freeways there. Remote work is a giant waste of money. Nobody, and I mean nobody, works from home that works for me. That's from the Worcester Woods Wacko. There you go, Doug.
Okay.
Plock, if you're going to go work for the Worcester Woods Wacko, you will not be working remote, it sounds like.
I don't really like working from home anyways.
It's boring. This is the only place that I get human interaction.
Oh, God, that sounds like a hermit.
I would say I'm not as productive.
No, I just don't have any people that live around me that I really talk to.
You got a whole apartment complex full of people you could interact with.
No, they don't understand me.
They don't understand English or just you?
Well, I mean, probably me, but I say, good afternoon, how you doing? And just walk right by, so that's pretty clear. It's a greeting.
I dare you to drive down Sappington Road at 7:30. Standstill traffic due to that lip-injected South County pretend rich swingers community, St. Kitty's. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
Gosh.
St. Kitty's is a lip-injected South County pretend rich swingers community? I just thought you were the Wizard of Crestwood.
Yeah, I didn't notice that one.
McKnight's the same way because you have
We'll talk about St. Kitty's in a moment.
Okay.
You have all the one-way traffic. But then if somebody... Just say you're heading west, and somebody wants to turn left. Nobody lets you in. So all the cars that are coming toward Manchester won't stop. So you're sitting there waiting for a car to turn, and the other cars won't let them in. It's a mess.
When you're waiting in traffic on a highway and someone's desperate to get over, do you let them in, or do you say, nope, you're not getting in front of me?
I do if they slow down. If they keep speeding up to try and get in front of all the cars, I don't.
No, I always let them in. What the hell?
Yeah, I do. I'm done.
Not going anywhere anyway.
I'm done with road rage. I just don't let anything bother me.
Done with road rage.
Well, I've never had road rage, but if somebody cut me off, I'd flip them off or I'd honk.
That's road rage.
Well, I'm not yelling. I'm not getting in my car and bashing their window or something.
There was a road rage killing just a couple days ago.
Yeah, it happens all the time. But I'm to the point now that if somebody cuts me off...
Flick somebody off.
Go ahead, buddy.
Or honk at
Go ahead,
I never honk at anybody. I don't know what's going on and people like...
Everybody's got a gun now.
Dude,
you don't need to...
I ain't doing that. People are crazy now. I never honk even if you're cutting me off. I don't honk.
No, I don't either.
No, I just
Doug, juice, squeeze, ain't worth?
No.
No, it's not. Sometimes you just get really pissed off, but I just kind of let it go now. I just say, go ahead, you cut me off, go ahead.
You also have to realize sometimes we get in those situations where, I'm in the wrong lane, I need to get over now. And you would appreciate it if someone would back off just a little bit and let you in. We've all made that mistake.
Yeah.
Your thoughts are welcome. You can email in because we're giving away these Hootie and the Blowfish tickets. Doug, Hootie and the Blowfish is coming to St. Louis on Saturday, June 1st, and we are giving away tickets to the concert for the winner of the Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day. Send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com, and you will win Hootie and the Blowfish tickets. Currently, Blueberry Pop Pop with 3 wins, JV Golf Coach with 2, Calcified Ear, Fancy Gentleman, Amanda Groin, Dogtown Tyler from Spartanburg, and Buck Swope all with a win. Greg Warren in studio at 8:30, Jeremy Rutherford at 9:05, and then the Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day. Design Air is online at designairservice.com. Doug's a client, I'm a client. And at some point, Doug,
temperatures will be in the 30s. They'll be in the 20s.
They were
That
in the
furnace is
30s
gonna
this
be-
morning.
And it's going to be in the 70s this afternoon.
Right.
Unbelievable. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. Get your furnace tuned up with Seth Goldcamp. All you do is go to designairservice.com, click on Book Now. They tune it up. They make sure you're ready to go for the cold weather months. And then you're set. And now you sail in, you fatten up, you get engaged, and then you look forward to April or May. When the Masties comes around.
It's not that far off.
Yep.
I wish they could just build a huge fan somewhere down in Florida and just blow the high pressure system to the Midwest every day.
That would take a big fan.
Every day. Because all it is the high pressure and the winds out of the south,
How
and
you
we
gonna
get this
blow
weather.
that up here?
Can you imagine a $5 billion fan project trying to pass?
Big old fan.
It'd be worth it.
Big old fan.
It'd be worth it to have warm weather.
$5
in the
billion
Midwest.
fan, you couldn't move air around in St. Louis for $5 billion.
How about you just hang it from satellite to satellite right in front of the sun?
the satellite.
And
Right in
then,
front of the sun.
Right, that's correct.
Like, so that
So shoot
hot
to
air
Mercury
just-
and set it up.
Yeah, just set it up like that.
Hey guys, I don't mess with road rage, but I do honk and flip people off because screw them. Thanks. That's from Big
Oh, I said I used to. I used to, but I don't anymore.
Jackson was so wrong about the Blues under last night and the Spurs game. That's from Big Pick Energy. Jackson, you're touting on Twitter now or something?
No, probably my circa read.
Oh.
Well, that's gambling. Sometimes you win, and hey, sometimes you lose.
What was the over-under? 4.5?
I think I said the Blues total,
Oh.
just because they're based on their Tuesday games prior. But either way, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Well, I think that was a great data point. It just didn't work out last night, but it's 67%, Doug. That's profitable. Jackson, tell the people about Circa, because I'm in that Circa Millions, and it's a dumpster fire for me. It really is. I think I was 1-4 this weekend. 2-3.
Was that a new quarter?
New quarter, too. I needed him on a Sunday charge. Doomed. I guess 2-3. Hell, I don't know. I ain't going to win anyway.
Well, Tim, maybe you can supplement those losses, really take care of that, make yourself net zero, because you can gamble with the Circa Sports app. You can start wagering because it's now available in Illinois. That's right, the world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is now available in Illinois. If you live here in St. Louis, you just drive across the river. If you already live in Illinois, you sign up for the Circa Sports app, because the Circa Sports app is sports betting the way it should be, with big app bets, high betting limits, tight money line splits, and the best customer service around. You're not going to talk to a chat bot. If you ever run into issues with the Circa Sports app, you're going to talk to a real human. Matter of fact, the real humans that run the Circa Resort out there in Las Vegas, so you know you're dealing with the best. Maybe you want to bet on some more midweek hoop rock, and you like the T-Wolves and Suns tonight. Well, that total's sitting at 224. You got Ant-Man, you got D-Book, you got KD. I like the over in that game. Why don't you take it with the Circa Sports app? Visit circasports.com for more details and get ready to start betting like a pro. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
And you
Did they have golf bets? I'm sorry, Tim. They have golf bets on there?
Yeah.
Really? I'm going to have to get on there. I like Justin Suh this week.
Who?
Justin Suh.
Suh.
S-U-H.
Justin Suh.
Justin Suh.
Where's he from?
And he came off the Corn Ferry Tour, but I think...
Why do you like him?
I think he's plus 340 to make top 10.
Good evening. Thanks, Van. I'm television's own Doug Chandler Hill, and that didn't sound like me, did it?
You could also call James Carlton. His number is 314-961-4800. Or you can go online at carltoninsurance.net. He sponsors The Colonel on Mondays here and on Fridays on Balloon Party. And he has 339 five-star ratings. James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. Every insurance agent is not the same. And James Carlton and his staff separate themselves by their customer service, being proactive to find you ways to save you money and also helping out anytime you need them. And I'm telling you, it's like they drop everything. You feel like you're their only client. But that's not the case. They continue to grow because the word is out about the difference that James Carlton and his staff make in the way they conduct their business at carltoninsurance.net. That's James Carlton, carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. Greg Warren, 8:30. Jeremy Rutherford, 9:05, taking your two-part questions. Doug, Mike Francesa took some questions about the New York Giants. Here's what his thoughts were.
Okay. Hit the lever, please, Plowsy.
And then the display from the Giants. Listen, there is competitive, and then there is nonsense. What we saw from the Giants at the end of the game was nonsense. The idea is don't get your players hurt at that point. You've the die has been cast. The Cowboys are on the sideline laughing. Their starters already have their shoes and their pads off. So for you to run 12 plays and call 3 timeouts after the 2-minute warning in a 49-10 game. You think it matters if you lose 49-10 or 49-17? Like that last touchdown is somehow symbolic? Hey, we didn't quit. We scored that last touchdown. Who cares? You're scoring it against the scrubs, and who cares anyway? How is that symbolic of anything? You want to show competitiveness? You want to show some kind of competitiveness in the game? Then you know what? Here's what you do. You block somebody. You tackle somebody. You hit somebody. You cover somebody. You stop somebody. That's how you show competitiveness. Not this nonsense at the end of the game where you take the score from 49-10 to 49-17 and run 12 plays after the 2-minute warning and call 3 timeouts, 2 in the last 20 seconds to make sure you score that last touchdown. I mean, that just shows you how sad things are for the Giants, that they felt that was going to somehow send a message or impress somebody. They are now putting a product on the field at this point of the season, in the middle of November, a few days before Thanksgiving, that is a disgraceful product in every way.
It's nonsense.
Love to hear the rant if they need it 3 times and punted it back to the Cowboys.
Did that like cover the over for him or something?
No, I think
it couldn't
the
have been
over
that
was
big.
like 52, I think. They already had 59.
He gets passionate about end of the game moves. He wasn't happy with James Franklin, wasn't he?
Yeah, you would
Something about
think.
kicking a field goal.
You'd think you get beat by 40 points. There's a lot more to bitch about than them trying to score at the end of the game.
Since when are backup linebackers in the National Football League scrubs?
Yeah, it's not a very good way to put that on an NFL team.
Backups, yes, but scrubs.
Professional athletes, nonetheless, who were stars in colleges.
This guy could have coached.
That's right. Could have been walking the sidelines.
Well,
Doug.
he had a chance, but he couldn't take the pay cut.
That's right.
Because guys in the NFL, they make next to nothing.
That's correct.
Well, if that's the case, then you should be bitching at the Dallas Cowboys, too, because what are you doing? You got the game. What are you doing tackling people? Let them go. Let them score. You're going to get hurt. Don't do that. Yeah, I mean, you play till the end of the game. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that. The fans paid full price. They kind of deserve to see a product. When I'm a fan, I don't like to see my team give up just because we're behind.
Yeah, like I said, I'd love to see what his reaction would be if they just need it. And the reasoning was, well, we don't want to get anybody hurt. It's already over.
The timeouts might be a little bit different thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to see my team in that situation throw the ball, try to score, but I don't know about the timeouts when you're down by that much.
You loved Heupel going out there and kicking a field goal to make it 36-10, and Drinkwitz freezing the kick. That was good.
Yeah.
They had a lovely little exchange right there at the end of the game. I mean, that was the quickest handshake.
Drinkwitz bounced off him like a trampoline.
Nice.
It's like a handshake, and they popped off each other.
Now, sometimes, I don't know who was in the game for the Giants late. I don't know if they had their third-string quarterback in there or whatever. But you still say, okay, let's go out and pretend we got 2 minutes left in the game. We need this to win. Let's practice our 2-minute drill. So yeah, maybe they're doing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I also wanted to talk about Carson Wentz and Drew Brees, Andrew Luck.
Get rid of him. Come on.
I think it is hard to complain too much about a team that's simply still playing hard at the end of a game, trying to score at the end of a game. Now, again, I understand that you don't need to be taking all your timeouts with this, but I could see where you still want to play hard.
Why don't you call into Francesa's show?
I thought he retired.
He does.
Is this a
keeps
podcast
coming back.
he does now? Is that out of his house? Is that what that is? Or I don't know where it is.
I assume he is working remotely. I don't think he's heading into Midtown every day.
I wouldn't think.
My favorite era of Francesa was right when he dropped the app. And it was like $10, and he refused to give the actual number because they were so bad. And it lasted like 2 months.
The app.
And that was when he had a lot of technical difficulties. He would start yelling at his producer, and there would be the mic wouldn't be on, but you could hear the background, so you could barely hear him. Oh man!
Is Stern still doing his show remotely from home?
Yeah, he came in, I think, for the Springsteen interview.
He looked like he was in studio for the Keith Richards interview.
And I could see him coming in for the Keith Richards interview. He had Barbara Streisand in, and I know you loved Yentl.
Oh, yeah. Huge fan.
I don't know if he came in studio for that one last week.
I think the home studio he's built looks just like the one.
They do it intentionally, and then when the guest is in the studio, they have it shot so it makes it look like Howard is talking to the guest, and the guest is talking to Howard, but they're actually looking at monitors.
Right.
That's what it is. Because Jackson's right. It looks like it's, and Robin looks like she's in a little booth.
Yeah, I don't think Robin's been in the New York studios in a while, but maybe I'm off. I don't really listen all that much anymore, Doug. I listen for the interviews.
No, when would you listen? Aren't they on the same time we're on?
Yeah, but I mean, a podcast, everything, right? That Sirius app you can go and watch on television and watch the interviews that way.
Oh.
It's the bee's knees.
I never think of it.
And you were a big Yentl fan?
Sure, yeah. Because it was so similar to the way I grew up. As a transgender Jewish girl, boy.
That's correct.
Isn't that what it was? I saw an article just the other day where she complained that Mandy Patinkin wanted to...
Mandy Patinkin, yeah.
Wanted
Friend
to
of the
have
show.
a sex scene with her on the show, and she said, no, it's not. We're going to write it out of the show.
On Yentl?
Yeah, that was the article. But who knows what to believe anymore?
Should have talked to me. I made out with him in a dream.
Oh. This AI is so dangerous that, it's hard to know what's real now. Imagine when this gets perfected 5 or 10 years from now. You're not going to have...
I'll take the under on the 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Who do we trust? Is this really your son, your wife? Who? That's calling or texting or sending a video? You're not going to know, are you?
I mean, we're about to have, like, cop robots, like those dog robots, like on every street corner.
Yeah. My celebrities will never have to do an interview again. They just in the AI.
Doug, good news. Shrewsbury Seminary student actually has the answer, and he's on hold to talk it over with you.
Okay, good.
Good morning, Shrewsbury Seminary student.
Hello, Shrewsy.
Am I on?
Yes, you are. Okay.
Hey, I've kind of got a question for everybody. Can I just kind of work around the...
Doug, are you going to take
If you do it quickly.
All right. Well, hold on. Who does the drops now on the show? It used to be Stedman like a decade ago. But who does it now?
Darren Atkins. He goes by Peoria Plowboy on Twitter.
Can you play some of the drops that are of me more, Plowsy? I think I got like the Bryce Harper one where...
I'm going to go into the Shrewsbury database here and see if
you can just search it. You can just search it.
Well, currently Clip.off is going through an update on my computer, so I'm using Adobe right now.
Okay, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Good question, though.
I love that guy.
Who's that? Jackson. Is Jackson there?
Yes.
What up?
What do you think about the East right now, man?
Stout.
Doug, who do you like in the East?
Philly's got a serious Ewing theory going on right now. It's really freaking me out.
Tyrese Maxey, 50 ball.
Hey, Mo, get us Bryce Harper. Yeah, dude, that's all I wanted right there. I love it. And then, wait, I was listening back maybe a couple months ago, but I haven't had a chance to call in. Something about 30A being for poor people, like the Florida area.
Yeah, Destin region.
My dad lives down there, so should I tell him he's poor?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, just
it's better just to get it out of the way now. Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Oh, okay, thanks. So what they're saying 30A is for only poor people, and where do you go if you're not poor?
Yeah, Doug, what is the answer to that?
I think you go to Johnson shut-ins. You go camping somewhere along maybe the Current River.
Okay. Hey, Adam. If Adam's listening, though, this is my last thing. Sorry. Hey, Adam, if you're listening, meet me at the Pasadena Hills Fountain. I'll be there at 5:15, coming over for dinner with the family. So if you want to meet me there, I'll be there. But guys, I got to call. I got to.
Okay, sorry to bother you. Get over to Pasadena Hills. That's up there by Umsel, isn't it? Pasadena Hills.
It is. That's where Caller Adam resides.
Yeah.
He's the voice of Salt and Smoke.
It sounds like a lovely area, doesn't it? I live in Pasadena Hills.
It does.
Just got $20 million to make a motion picture, and now I'm moving to Pasadena Hills.
Audience not excited to hear from Shrewsbury.
No.
You remember Stan the Caddy not happy with some of the club selections and lines we took at Belle Reve.
Mm-hmm.
Bleach this turd now. That's from Stan the Caddy. Let's see. I've never listened to a grown man suck his own member by requesting a drop of himself.
Where that tushy boat? Hey.
That's from Danny Tanner. Doug, did we listen to Auto Fellatio?
We may have.
Is that Jersey, the Tushy Booth one?
Yeah. Yeah. And I know his dad. Went to high school with his dad.
At Nipper.
Yeah. Certainly isn't poor, but apparently lives down there in 38.
Well, maybe he has many houses and he has one.
He could, yeah. He might.
I thought you had a dream about making out with F. Murray Abraham, or was it Mandy Patinkin? Thanks, woof boy.
Mandy Patinkin.
What was that like, to feel his beard against yours?
Oh.
It was a long time ago. I don't even know why. I guess I was watching Homeland.
And so you dreamed about the male actors?
I don't know. He walks so fast in that show.
Why not Claire Danes?
I don't find her attractive at all.
But Mandy Patinkin?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know any of these people.
Well, she's a tease. Everybody else got naked in that thing, and she never took her clothes off.
And that upsets you?
No, I just find it, everybody else agrees to get naked in the show, and then you don't.
Well, it's not like a blood oath or a pact. Probably just got offered more money to do it.
Yeah, it's just like the L word. Everybody in that show got naked. I mean, everybody. Every main character got naked. And Jennifer Beals, is it? She was in Flashdance?
Dan Beal.
Dan Beal.
Jennifer Beals would never get naked. She's actually having sex with a girlfriend who's completely naked, and she's got like a shirt and underwear on.
Bizarre.
That's just blatantly telling people, you all agree to get naked for the show? I won't. That's kind of a prude.
Well, but that's her decision.
It
her
is.
call.
It is, but I don't agree with it. If everybody else in the show is getting naked and you say, I don't want to.
It's just because you want to see her naked.
Find somebody else to do the part.
Okay.
You want her to pay no attention to her own morals so you can see her naked?
she can, but I just don't. It's not fair to all the other people in the show that got naked.
The other people probably needed the job worse than she did.
I don't know.
That was probably it.
Their agent's like, all right, I got you an extra 10 G's.
Mm-hmm.
Beal, singular. It's not that hard. Me.
Oh.
Doug, that's from the South City Hoosier aficionado.
I'm going to stand up for Iggy here. It is Jennifer Beals. You might be thinking of
Dan Beal.
Jessica Biel,
Jessica Biel,
married to Justin Timberlake.
That's
Those are two different people.
B-E-I-L, isn't it?
B-I-E-L.
And Beals is B-E-A-L-S.
Correct.
South City Hoosier aficionado is going to call in and apologize.
He should.
Yeah, I bet they do.
You see a good-looking girl and you want to see her naked.
The old rotted potatoes obsession with people getting naked in TV and movies is very unnerving. Doug, that's Tervis Parrish. You're a creep. That is from the Total Package.
Well, if you think nudity's creepy, then just watch your G-rated shows.
Zing.
Use that for a promo on 101.
Well, that's what a lot of people do.
I wouldn't walk out of the house if I'm that dude now.
I didn't know where I was going there, Plowsies.
That's why Doug and I let you breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go, Doug. Let's let Jakey land this plane. Jackson, or Doug, we've got a new sponsor on this program, and it's called not Naturals. Watch this. Naturals.
Naturals, like you're gnawing on a treat because they're dog
Bill's
treats. Here's one
treats.
right here. Look at this dog treat I'm holding up on YouTube.
Ooh, cats
Doesn't
and
that look good? That
dogs. Yes,
looks like
indeed.
something that a human would
Why
eat.
don't you try it?
Well, I want to because it looks so good. A lot of these treats that they make at Naturals are good. It's a local company, longtime listeners to TMA. One of them even used to babysit Jackson. And I guess they were so impressed by his palatial Ladue estate, they said,
right.
we better start out a business on our own. And that's what they've done. And it's called Naturals. And they've got some treats here for your pet this holiday season. Naturals carries a lineup of limited ingredient dental chews, 100% rawhide-free options, and mouth-watering oven-baked cookies. Keep your walrus hands off. They are exclusively for the dogs. Your pup's tail will be wagging with excitement after tasting flavors like real peanut butter, chicken, and pumpkin. Trust me, your dog will be begging for more, just like my dog, Dora. Dora absolutely loves these things, and Dora is very picky. Sometimes I call Dora Karen because she's picky and she complains a lot. She's not picky when it comes to Naturals. She loves these, and your dog will too. Discounted variety packs are also available, so your pup can enjoy all flavors delivered right to your door. And here's a treat for the listeners. Here's the code TMA at naturals.com for an exclusive 15% off. The code again, TMA. That's if you go to naturals.com, you get 15% off, plus free shipping on orders of $30 or more. I will spell out Naturals for you because it's kind of a different world.
It is.
GNAWTRALS. Turals. That's naturals.com. Outrageously tasty, easily digested. It's delicious by nature.
There you go. And it would be delicious to get engaged here in the holiday season. If you did want to. You go to Glenn Betts Jewelers, in business in St. Louis since 1941 and operated by the third and fourth generation of the Betts family. The Glenn Betts difference is you are served personally, not sold. Glenn Betts Jewelers develops relationships through generations of your family, too. This is the time of year, Doug, where you start thinking, maybe we should get engaged. Maybe I'll do it around the holidays. Well, work with Craig and David Betts at Glenn Betts Jewelers, located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester in De Pere. It's GlennBettsJewelers.com, GLENNBETZ, Jewelers.com. And they are wonderful people, listeners of the program. You guys, Iggy and Doug, you've known them for a long time, and they will take care of our audience. So whether it be jewelry for the holidays, jewelry for an engagement, go to GlennBettsJewelers.com. That's GlennBettsJewelers.com, GLENNBETZ, Jewelers.com, and just go into the store. Parking, plenty of parking, right behind the building that is located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester in De Pere. They will take great care of you. Totally different kind of experience at Glenn Betts Jewelers. They get to know you, and they get to know your likes, your lifestyle, and who and what you love. Those are the 3 L's. Doug, you have any idea what like a jingle would sound like if we were to cut one for them?
Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Till your good is better and your better is Betts.
Yeah!
That's it.
That's the one. Send your emails in. Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day today is giving away tickets to the winner for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day for Hootie and the Blowfish at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. That's taking place on Saturday, June 1st. So send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Greg Warren in studio at 8:30. He dropped treats by the other day. Now he's going to drop his comedic stylings by at 8:30 in about a half hour. Jeremy Rutherford will join us at 9:05 as, well, the St. Louis Blues are one of the hottest teams in the league, and it's their first 3-game winning streak of the year, a year that many fans thought would just be blasé. The Chalice will be making its way down market again in mid-June, so that'll be fun to see. That'll be a nice little surprise.
Very well could. Doug Armstrong may get the last laugh again.
God. Torrey Krug? Here he comes.
Yeah.
So Jeremy Rutherford taking your 2-part questions at 9:05. Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, 9:45. Jackson and I getting our asses ripped from 10 to 11 on a wide berth Wednesday.
People just call in and rip you?
Jackson, what were they unhappy about yesterday?
Oh, what were they upset about yesterday? I can't really remember if they were too upset. I remember when we would talk hot stove that they were really convinced that Jordan Montgomery can be an ace.
Where you ripped a new Rusty Boy.
Flip that off.
It's never like, once you get to a certain point, it gets like diminishing returns. Like once you've been ripped for 22 straight months.
Yeah.
It's good that you achieve that kind of callousness. It's sad that it becomes necessary to achieve that kind of callousness. But, Doug, that's the business we've chosen.
Yeah. Try to get out, and they pull us back in.
Lee Strasberg. Those of you interested in Aaron Nola may want to read theathletic.com this morning. Eye-opening piece.
Where's he going?
From Jason Stark. Not sure necessarily where he's going. Doug, if the Cardinals made an announcement that they signed Aaron Nola, what deal parameters would make you feel, that sounds good?
I guess it would take probably at least 5 years.
Okay.
And if it was 150 million, that's about, I wouldn't go any more than that for him.
Stark writes, the Phillies and Nola tried to do an extension before this season. And he writes, it's reasonable to think the Phillies' initial offer was in the range of 6 years, $150 million, which averages out to $25 million a year. But according to multiple major league sources, the two sides were not even remotely close back then. And that would seem to indicate that Nola's side was looking for a 7-year contract extension for north of $200 million, possibly well north, and that would put Nola's valuation of his potential worth at roughly $30 million a year, give or take a couple of $1 million. Rival executives say they wouldn't be surprised to see the bidding for Nola push him to a 7-year deal, likely at a higher AAV than what the Phillies offered last spring. So the Phillies want to bring Nola back, but they haven't been able to get it done yet, and rival executives are theorizing he is looking for a 7-year and potentially $30 million AAV. So the Cardinals will be signing him to a 7-year, $210 million deal.
They won't. I hope they don't. That's nuts. That doesn't make any sense.
But wouldn't you like to see him pitch for $30 million a year at 36? What about 37? How about 38?
No. Chances are he's not going to be Nolan Ryan and still throwing no-hitters when he's 45 years old. I wouldn't do it. No way. It's not worth it.
What's Snow going to ask for?
See if he says anything about that.
I don't know. This year, Nola had an ERA of 4.46. That's not great.
So much of what goes on in the baseball offseason is dictated more by what transpired in October than what did take place in April through September. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily wrong, because you certainly want somebody who can be clutch, and I think that there is something to be said for that. Jordan Montgomery, if you recall, when he was acquired by the Cardinals, the whole thing was, we talked about this yesterday with Ed Herman of Brown and Crouppen when he was in, that the Yankees said, yeah, he can't pitch in the postseason because we're not going to start him, and he takes too long to warm up, so we wouldn't use him in the postseason. And what does he do? He leads the Rangers to the World Series and deals in the postseason. So his stock skyrocketed. I would tell you that Dexter Fowler's performance for the Cubs in 2016, in particular his home run to lead off Game 7 against, and I apologize, I don't know how else to say it, the Indians.
Oh, why don't you stab me right in the heart?
I like that. Why'd you go New York there?
Because somebody said that to me once when I was in Miami. I told you that story, right?
Was it Earl Weaver?
No, we were in some retirement home for some reason. I don't know what.
Oh, you were trolling for ass.
No, some athlete came to a retirement home to make an appearance, and we went there. And an old guy comes up to me and says, "Please turn your camera on my wife. She's never been on TV." And I said, "Well, I don't know if we can. We're here for a news conference, and we got to see what he goes." He goes, "All right." He said in this thick New York accent, "I'll go back to her and cut out her heart."
I never heard that one before.
Yeah. I'll just cut out her heart. Because he couldn't get a quick cutaway of his wife.
I believe the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that kind of accent is what he had.
Was it the Tin Man by chance?
I don't think it
the
was.
Actor?
No, I don't think so.
We had to get him on. Snell has that Hoosier Bayless trash look. He'd fit right in here. That's from Eric, and he's in the Central West.
Have you heard him interviewed, Blake Snell? He does kind of, thinks he's kind of ghetto. He talks like he's ghetto.
I have not heard Blake Snell interviewed. Is he going to join us coming up?
I love Blake Snell. I like his attitude.
Yeah,
He'll win you a Cy Young, Pollock. He's about to, as a matter of fact. Skip Schumacher just won himself a Manager of the Year.
Yeah.
Still ain't going to pay him $35 million a year, though.
No,
pitchers, I don't mind paying like a Bryce Harper type. But pitchers are a different story.
Right. One injury, and you're done.
Yeah, like you can't move to like the DH role. You know, like...
We learned that with Jack Flaherty.
Yeah.
He's on top of the world at, 22 or 3?
Yeah.
And a year later, he's just not very good at all?
Shoulders, man. Shoulders for anybody in sports, but in particular pitchers. So just playing the hand out, is no one worth anything anymore? Well, I like this. Doug, this is existential.
Is no one worth anything anymore?
So just playing the hand out, is no one worth anything anymore? My God, we aren't allowed to hold these two conflicting ideas in our heads. Cardinals aren't willing to spend money on good players, and no players are worth what they would have to pay. Which one is it? That's from Kevin's brother, Jack Demoff.
Well,
I don't know if that's directed at any particular member of the dais. I think the Cardinals are willing to spend money, and I have always refuted that. The issue is they have spent it poorly. I think the DeWallet thing is from a socioeconomic place of envy and ignorance. And I will endear myself to people on 101 ESPN when I say that today at around 10:02.
I mean, look at Fowler, Cecil, Miller, Leak. I mean, they just picked the wrong guy and shovel money in years to. That's the problem.
Pitchers like memorabilia. They're worth what you're willing to pay them.
Well, that Doug.
Well, that's true.
Now that's a promo.
Just of all, you got to kind of play the percentages and what's likely to happen.
Well, is anybody?
If you look at history, older pitchers are likely to break down.
Is
And why
any
you would want to
pitcher-
get 6 or 7 years for 150 to 200 million on an older pitcher, I don't think makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, do you really think Aaron Nola is worth $40 million a year?
I don't.
To throw 6 innings every 5 days?
No.
No, but somebody's going to pay it for him, so if that's what they pay, that's what he's worth.
Yeah, well, somebody probably will, but it probably won't be the Cardinals, and I hope it's not if that's the going rate.
And then if nobody pays him, then they just cry collusion like they did many years ago.
Well, if you're going to spend that kind of money on a pitcher, why don't you do it for some of the international players who are still young? The Dominicans and the Japanese and the Korean pitchers, they produce some outstanding pitchers.
That's why I would love to
And
see
some of them are very
Yamamoto.
young still.
With regards to what direction the Phillies go, Stark writes, it makes sense for the Phillies to rank Jordan Montgomery and 25-year-old Oryx Buffalo's rock star Yoshinobu Yamamoto at the top of their shopping list, along with pitching coach Caleb Cothams?
Caleb Williams.
Nope. Caleb Cothams, former college teammate at Vanderbilt, Sonny Gray. But even if Nola goes elsewhere, the Phillies still have a legit ace in Wheeler and another potential difference maker coming in MLB Pipeline's 22 minor league pitcher of the year, right-hander Andrew Painter, who should return from Tommy John surgery in 2025. So they are telling agents and other clubs they're open to multiple scenarios to replace Nola's innings and presence. Sounds like the Phillies are accepting that they may have to move on from Aaron Nola. If Corbin Burns, Tyler Glasnow, or Shane Bieber get traded, it's unimaginable that Dombrowski wouldn't be in the mix. But the Phillies also have enough depth concerns that they would seem more likely to sign a non-ace type free agent or two than to blow out their farm system to trade for an ace approaching free agency. But here's one often rumored name they appear to be just lukewarm on.
Can we have initials, please?
BS.
Bob Smith?
Nope. They like him.
Bill Sampson?
Nope. Here's a hint.
Bart
He's
Stewart?
going to win the Cy Young.
Blake Snell?
Yes.
Gosh, that's weird.
His walk rate, inconsistency, and lack of year-in, year-out value make him almost the diametric opposite. You like that diametric
No,
opposite?
I don't.
Because you could just say opposite.
Yeah.
Of Nola. However, if Nola hits the exit ramp and Yamamoto goes to a team with a richer history with Japanese players, Snell could still be in play. So the Phillies might go Blake Snelling if Nola goes for 7 years and an AAV close to 30 million per year.
Phillies have got some money to throw around. I saw where their TV ratings were better than the Cardinals. It was like the only team in baseball that had higher local TV ratings.
They're passionate about those
Yeah,
Phillies.
they love their Phillies.
Plowsy, we got a shot. We can just throw Newtbar at him.
Yeah, they'll never trade Newt Bar.
No, not trade, but was it Yamamoto?
Oh.
Yamamoto.
I don't know how people
Said he wants to
think-
go a place that rich in Japanese players. Well, you got to send Newtbar out there to talk to him.
I love how a life-altering decision would be made because you're friends with Lars Nootbaar for like a month. You know what I mean? Like it's so beyond like what I can even comprehend.
Well, but if you were going to another country, completely different culture and language, and you knew somebody on one of the other teams, it could be a factor.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we've had a few of those that didn't speak English and
Yeah.
had an interpreter.
Yeah.
Seemed to get along fine.
Kim?
Yeah.
So, Taguchi, is he number 99?
I think so.
Yes, he was.
Bow tie is in the eye of this storm of mediocrity. That's all. That's from the 314. Kind of a tribute to Meryl Streep and The Devil Wears Prada right at the end. Watch this. That's all.
I forgot his name yesterday, Tim, but you brought up that list of tier players. There was a guy from Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded very interesting.
Why did he sound interesting?
It's just, they said this fastball, upper 90s, right around 100. I think he was 25.
He was younger, just like Yamamoto.
Yeah, they had an ERA of like 2.2.
Yeah. If I was
But I
going to
think
throw
he was
huge money, I'd throw it at guys like that.
I
instead
agree
of
with you.
mid-30s pitchers.
Yeah, and I thought he was a tier 3 or 4.
I'm pulling some strings in old country. We are Japan adjacent geographically. That's from Brian Henson, so he's working on it.
Okay. It's nice of him.
But you complain when people think you're Japanese and you yell that you're Korean.
What in the hell?
So now you're saying you're adjacent to them, so you're like the same.
I think he might be talking more geographically, but if you want to...
Okay.
But if you were going to Japan to play as an American and you knew somebody on one of the other teams, that would be a selling point, wouldn't it?
Sure it would.
Last time the Cardinals passed on a large contract for a pitcher, he became the best of the era. Max Scherzer. Gotta risk it to get the biscuit, baby. That's from NoCo Turkey Neck. And that's what I'm telling you is coming down Broadway here over the next 3 or 4 weeks. The Cardinals aren't gonna get Nola. They're not gonna get Snell. And the best fans in baseball are gonna be outside of One Cardinal Way with Steve with pitchforks.
Scherzer was much younger, too, when they passed on him. That was a swing and a miss, but he was a lot younger than he is now.
Was there a story that came out that actually said Wainwright talked to Scherzer during that time frame and said
the
the
story,
Nationals
Plowhawk,
offered this?
is that Scherzer reached out and said, hey, just tell your guy to get in the ballpark because I'm not going to hold him up. I want to pitch for the Cardinals. Randy Carricker told that story recently. He told it again, but he's told it before. Yes, and that was the free agency of 2014. And for the record, it's not like Scherzer was 25 then. He's 39 now, so that had put him at around 30 when that took place. And Nola, for the record, is
Fireable
31.
offense. Absolutely fireable offense.
Could they possibly, I don't know what they're willing to spend on pitching. If he said he needed 3, then he needs 2.5. You think you could get Rodriguez, Bauer, and then maybe somebody from the 3rd or 4th tier, I don't know what, maybe Flaherty or maybe Waka. If you get Waka, Rodriguez, and Bauer, could you sign all 3 of those?
Mathematically, that would most likely fit in what they are trying to target, which is an approximate $200 million 40-man roster.
I think if they did that, you'd come out feeling pretty good about the way things went.
Yeah, if you could get those.
Because you're not going to have you're not going to be paying somebody $30 million a year when he's 36, 37.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping they avoid. They already are going to have one of those.
Yeah, the only one of those
with Contreras.
Yeah, the only 3. The only one of the 3 would probably be Rodriguez. Is probably going to want 5-6 years. That's why he opted out. He still had, I think, 3 years left or 2 years left with $36 million on that contract. And he opted out. So I'm guessing he'll want at least 5 or 6. But I think Waka maybe 1 or 2 and Bauer 1 or 2.
Hey guys, they need to sign Yamaguchi, Guichitabo, Yama, etc. Well, you know what I mean. If we talked about Eduardo Rodriguez yet, I said Eduardo Rodriguez. Jesus!
Oh.
That's some big tough that he is. Just lost it.
How many times has Snell and Nola been named on this show? We're throwing out pictures every day when we talk about them.
Blistering.
Well, you just pick on me because I said Rodriguez. I hope they sign Rodriguez now, then I'll shove it up your ass.
Oh!
What is this man's obsession with Eduardo Rodriguez, Doug? That's simply piddle.
It's not going to cost as much as everybody else. He's not going to cost $30 million, $35 million a year. Probably 25, but not 35, 40 million a year.
Well, then you don't understand pitching.
Yeah,
That's okay.
You want to say that again?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry.
I'm not saying I'm sorry.
Gosh.
I mean, will Waka even come back here?
I don't know.
His resurgence.
I don't think Flaherty would.
Oh, God, no. I don't think they'd get him back anyways.
No.
100% Nola's deal will be a mistake for whichever team does it. That's from Shafty McShamus.
These texters could bring it up Nola.
We can't
Nola. Stop already.
Oh.
There was a lot of people saying the Bryce Harper deal would be terrible. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, you don't really know.
Plowhawk, you and I remember doing the show. It was because it was from the same table where you got fired in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
I can still picture it. And I'm just like, why? It's like the Soto thing last year. I'm like, why do the Cardinals somehow get this thing locally? Well, I mean, the Cardinals can't get Soto. Well, the Cardinals can't get Harper. And then when Matthew Tkachuk's available, then the Blues have no cap room. It's like, the Blues got to get Matthew Tkachuk. What the hell's going on? I'm like, why? How have the Cardinals somehow orchestrated this thing where they're not expected to be in the mix for those kinds of players, but the Blues, who don't have the bankroll and have to deal with the salary cap, are expected to? It's an amazing thing. I would imagine the DeWitts are very grateful that somehow some kind of mind game has been played on the fan base.
I mean, the fact that there's a DH now, I mean, Bryce Harper is going to have that entire contract and going to be valuable.
Well, he's still not terribly old, is he? He's
No,
early
yeah.
30s, maybe?
Yeah.
30?
Yeah. I think it was 28, 29 when he signed the deal. So he's probably 31.
Well, the Cardinals do have two superstars that they paid a lot of money for. Two of them. Not Harper money, but a lot of money for two guys. We just need to surround them with a little bit better talent, certainly talent on the mound.
Well, you don't
Maybe
like Steven Matz as your number two?
Eduardo Rodriguez is a guy I think we've all got our eyes on.
I mean, literally right now, the rotation is, what, Michaelis, Matz, Libator, Thompson.
Yeah.
Woodruff.
I mean, God.
Woodruffson, you got him. He's out next
I
year.
don't even know. I just thrown him in there.
Jake Woodford.
Brandon Woodruff, Doug, he's not going to be able to pitch next year, but he's with the Brewers. Dan in Phoenix is sending in pictures of his wife now. Iggy.
Okay, we'll change it up.
I can't see the text inbox.
It's right there.
Not bad. If that's her.
It's probably not her.
Doug, it looks like she did like a little naughty photo shoot, I guess, and Dan is sending us a bunch of these images from the photo shoot into the text.
Everybody's going OnlyFans these days.
Is that weird? I want to know.
Doug, your thoughts on when listeners send in pictures of their wife?
Not just one, 5. He said, no, I'm sorry, 6. He has sent in 6 photos.
Very weird.
Is she doing the glamour shot thing with?
Not sure what's going on. I'm just sitting here watching pictures keep popping up in the EDF group.
Man, that looks like Kyle Tipton in the background, but it isn't.
7.
One of
They just keep coming in.
Is that weird? I don't know.
Yes, it's all weird.
Yeah, I wonder if she knows it. All these pictures are being sent to us.
And what are we supposed to do with it? I guess this.
Doug, what are we supposed to do?
Talk about it?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're so easily distracted.
Doug, now
there's
he's sending a picture of himself.
This is a solo
shiny
shot.
object. Stop what we're talking about.
You should have just...
Solo Sunday.
We like pictures.
Oh, God.
This guy's sending in his whole camera roll.
What is that, his kids? Don't send your kids in.
That's an older
Yeah,
gentleman.
that's the guy.
I can't tell from here. I'm
He's
looking
in a
sideways.
jersey.
Looks like a little kid from here.
It's like a 40-something-year-old man.
I'm looking sideways. I can't. Takes 20 years off.
And his wife looks like she's doing OnlyFans pics
Is
now.
that Taj Gibson jersey?
Do you think there's been a big upswing in OnlyFans accounts since these teachers have gotten so much play about how much money they're
Well,
making?
yeah, dude. People have part-time jobs with their full-time jobs. You might as well sit at home and get naked and do it instead of, working in the evenings at a restaurant. I'm sure that's a lot of it.
I was texting with Megan.
Another listener has sent in a picture of their wife.
God
It's
almighty.
like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Most of the wives look just like that.
I forgot Megan's last name. Who was on the
Gaither.
show?
Rapino.
What is it?
Gaither.
Gaither.
Megan Rapino.
She went out and talked to the Hustler Club, who's offered her $47,000 to feature for one night strip, and then another $10,000 to do the podcast. And when she got to talk to her, the contract was different. It wasn't what they'd offer. They changed it. So now if she needs them to redo it before she'll decide. And she told me that, what's the name of the other girl? The other teacher.
No, Brianna Cox.
Brianna turned him down. Of course, she's making $7 million a year. She doesn't need $47,000 a strip. But Megan is thinking about it. She hasn't said no yet, but they need to redo the contract because she wasn't happy with how they changed it on her. So we'll keep you updated. We're the only station where you need to go for your OnlyFans teacher updates.
Any reaction to that image that was just sent in from Dan in Phoenix?
What is it? It's a Nancy boy, and what's he doing?
Nancy
Is it an Oscar award next to him?
What is that? Nancy boy.
Wasn't that a song that they play at Irish funerals? Nancy boy. Oh, Nancy
Danny
boy.
Yeah, Danny boy. Yeah.
And he also just said on my 41st birthday, my wife said she may be bi. That's from Dan in Phoenix.
So is he bi?
She's bored with you, right? Isn't that what it means?
He's looking for an excuse.
I
to go
guess
play
I'm
around.
bi because this ain't working.
That's what you think happened. We got to tell Dan that.
I don't know either one of them, but it looks like she aged a little bit better than old Danny boy.
She's thinking, I don't like you, so I guess that means I don't like men.
Yeah, this isn't working out.
Boy, a
and I
lot
have
of
to
people
be.
want him to call in now. 636-9004-TMA.
Bruce and Shoes?
Bruce and Shoes. You thought that was Bruce and Shoes? What is this? Somebody just sent in a picture of somebody crapping into a trough?
Oh.
Mudjack Mike. What is this?
Stop with that.
I think that might be Gilstrap.
Gilstrap. that your guy gill strapping?
Is he wearing a Mizzou jersey?
And he's crapping in a trough?
Oh, God.
Oh.
It does say gill strap.
That's not Gilstrap farts. He doesn't. Somebody's made that up. He farts. He doesn't crap.
Somebody
in troughs.
photoshopped his Instagram?
I think somebody just made that up. That's not Gilstrap. Unless Gilstrap means something. Because his is Gilstrap TV.
Mr. Felch said.
I mean, I don't know what the definition of Gilstrap is. Gilstrap has something to do with farting and pooping, I guess.
Could that possibly be his name?
No, his name is Eric, I think, or Derek.
But the other guy's name is Gil, last name Strap.
No, he even said one of the things he walked by a girl's front. He goes, "Oh, I'm gill strapping."
The strangest pictures of all time have been sent in, though.
God almighty.
We don't need them. What would be your price on OnlyFans? How much would you have to make on OnlyFans before you'd risk the job that you currently have and risk the, what that's going to do with the family dynamic?
8
and
to
all
10
that?
grand a month, I think, is a good starting point. That's what you're making on an annual basis. Although they do
Depends what
take
you're making in
20%
your
off
old
the-
job.
What's up?
It depends what you're making.
Well,
in
I'm
your
asking
other
you
job.
now.
So you're saying getting rid of your real job?
Well, in case you got fired.
From bringing in 10K,
Need enough to pay for health insurance then.
120, take 20% of that from OnlyFans and then tax. So
Well,
Think
nobody
OnlyFans gives health insurance?
Nobody wants to see me naked, so I'd say no, nothing.
Who says? How do you know that?
there's always a kink for everything.
It looks like you've been working out.
You're glimmering in the sun, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Glistening
I've
or
been,
shining?
been rolling a dolly for a week, 20 feet.
Brown skin, glistening in the sun. That's what used to get the ladies.
Yeah, thanks to Chrissy Blake came over. Chrissy Runner Girl came over yesterday and hung all my pictures for me.
New subject now.
No, I was talking about
The
rolling.
graphic over your shoulder changed.
If you just connect the dots, I was rolling my dolly to and from 20 feet. That was my exercise, speaking of my new apartment, and I just tied in Chrissy Blake hanging my photos in my apartment.
She hung the photos for you. How did it come out?
Good. They're all even and kind of matching and not cluttering up the wall. When I did it, I just threw like 10 on one wall, and they're all over the place. And she took her time.
Okay. She's a designer?
No, but she likes to decorate. Her house always looked nice, and so I haven't seen her in a while, so it was good to see her.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. So the
So
new
there you
place
go.
is
That's
looking
the end
sharp.
of that. Yeah. Well, it's for a while.
Does it look better than the old place?
Oh, now it does.
But still no closet.
Pardon me?
No closet. You said you didn't have a
No, I
walk-in
have.
closet.
No, I don't. I gave most of my clothes away. My vacuum
That's a
cleaner.
bad move when you have to give
Well,
most of
I had
your
nowhere
clothing
I had
away.
nowhere to put them. My vacuum cleaner's in my bedroom in the corner. I can't put it in the closet anywhere.
It sounds like it.
And they told me yesterday it's the same price. They didn't come down. I said, no, that's what it's worth. I said, well, that's funny. 2 months ago when you told him before he moved out what the price was, it was $100 less. How did it go up? No response.
Well, what happened to the closets?
It's like a third of the size of my old closet. My old closet was a walk-in. You couldn't even fit a baby in there.
Well, so are you going to renew this lease
a
when
weird-
it comes up? You just going to keep living there?
No, I'm probably done.
All right.
I mean,
That's what you need to do. You need to go somewhere else. You're not being treated fairly.
yeah, I'm not going to complain. I just,
I would
sent them an
complain,
email.
and then I'd move.
I sent an email. They didn't respond the way I wanted to. They couldn't answer my questions. They pretty much just contradicted themselves on what they told me 2 months ago before they knew I was moving in there. So I'm just done with it. I'll live there, and then I got 10 months to figure something out.
All right.
Guys, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. So a guy had a girl come over to his apartment to hang pictures on the wall. Is that accurate? That's from the 314.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, that is. And if you're married and you bought a house, who would do most of the decorating in your house, you or your wife?
Well, in that scenario,
The female.
004 TMA.
Yeah, but that's your wife too. You guys are in a partnership together. That's also her house. I think
Oh.
they're different. I think it's a nice gesture.
Well, it was. And I knew she could do a better job of it than me. And she's about the only girl I know, so.
The only girl you know after 500 conquests?
Well, that was way back in the day, Doug.
But some are still around, right?
Yeah, they are, but they're married.
What other radio show in the country gives a Section 8 housing complex so much time? That's from Uncle Cucker.
I don't know of any.
I don't know. I
frankly.
appreciate it, though. I like that my guys here let me talk about crap.
My wife's bull decorated our house. That's from Neil Hill and Greg Buck.
Now we're talking.
Bull came over.
That's getting something out of it. You know,
well, it's a dude.
It's like you can have my wife, but at least mow the lawn.
Right. That's the right way to handle it. Get involved on the program the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design, air, heating, and cooling email today coming your way. And we're giving away Hootie and the Blowfish tickets for June 1st at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. For the prize today, send them in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. We are going to have weather in the 70s. Get your work in at Family Golf today. It's Family Golf and Learning Center. FamilyGolfOnline.com. Go out there and play the par 3 course, the double-decker driving range, the short game area. Get lessons with the instructors there. They are so good. What a roster they have at Family Golf and Learning Center. And once it cools down, head on in to the simulator. They have 2 simulator bays at Family Golf and Learning Center. You want to improve? This is the time to do it. The off-season Family Golf and Learning Center allows you to do it. It's FamilyGolfOnline.com. Doug, tell me about your hair, because I see tufts of wisps.
Tufts of wisps is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Sure. Courtesy of St. Louis Hair Restoration. I had the old FUE procedure. I'd had a lousy hairline for many years. Didn't bother me that much, but they said, "Hey, you want to try this hair transplant?" I said, "Sure, I'll give it a shot."
Do it, yeah.
The St. Louis Hair Restoration. Yeah, I went in and talked with Dr. Polenga and the founder of the company, Greg Kryling, who are, by the way, patients of their own product. Hair restoration is all they do, and they do it at the highest level. Even the team of technicians on staff average 15 years of experience. These guys know what they're doing. It's all that they do, and they are the best in town at it. My little technique, or surgery, I guess you could call it, lasted about 3 or 4 hours. You're awake through the whole thing. They numb you up real nice, like it didn't feel anything at all. And then in a matter of months, you've got permanent hair that you're going to have for the rest of your life. So it's a great way to go. If your hairline has always bothered you, wherever that is on your head, if it bothers you, if it saps your confidence, there's something you can do about it, and they do it upright at St. Louis Hair Restoration. They'll make you look your best. I was cute before, Tim.
I agree with that.
Cute as a button.
Yeah,
now.
you're getting hotter now, and I think that's the thing that people are starting to notice, and that's really.
And Jackson's getting better looking, too. He had a little farther ways to go with that.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah, Doug, you started out better, but I think I have so much room for growth.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to the top of my head. And that's all thanks to our friends over at St. Louis Hair Restoration.
There it is, St. Louis Hair Restoration, Illinois Recovery Center, the new premier inpatient substance abuse facility in Swansea, Illinois. When it comes to the disease of addiction, getting help should not be as difficult as it currently is. The Illinois Recovery Center's mission is to be the receiving hand in the community when someone seeks help. The IRC delivers a comprehensive system of care that welcomes both individuals, struggling, and family alike. If you or someone you know wants to learn about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or email info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. Jackson, should we have Greg Warren in now, or should we take a break? You tell me.
Well, if we have Greg Warren in now, we can break after Greg, go to JR, and then break after JR, which is cool. Or we can break now and go Greg, then break, then JR. Up to you, boys.
Break now.
Yeah, let's break now.
We'll break now. Greg Warren will be in studio on the other side of said break. Jeremy Rutherford taking your 2-part questions for the Red Hot St. Louis Blues. 9:05. Design, air, heating, and cooling email today. 9:45. You switch over to 101 ESPN and that YouTube chat, which is very nice. And watch Jackson and I just get it handed to us from 10 to 11 on 101 ESPN with Mung and S. Burkhardt, Alton Toyota's Balloon Party. You are listening to TMA, presented by Brown and Crouppen from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of rosé prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
I get asked all the time by people, if I'm in an accident, what should I do? And while yes, you should call the police, exchange insurance information, and take pictures of the scene, all those things are important. but the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law, and if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobigs.com.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
After a serious car accident, people have two questions. Why me and what now? Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Crouppen, and my law firm Brown & Crouppen sure can help with the what now. Car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown & Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Do you want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? Well, it's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
The morning after has your chance to win tickets to see Hootie and the Blowfish. Collective Soul. Edwin McCain. On the Summer Camp with Trucks Tour, Saturday, June 1st, 2024 at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Open up your TMA mobile app and enter keyword Hootie to win. That's keyword Hootie on your TMA mobile app.
The Illinois Recovery Center is dedicated to providing precise and authentic care to those seeking help and treatment. Whether you've made the life-saving choice to seek help on your own or you want to be prepared for the other end of an addiction intervention with a loved one, the chance to learn about addiction recovery is available to you at the Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or email info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com.
The Brown & Crouppen Morning After will be hosting the End of the Year Awards to celebrate TMA fans December 14th at Hot Shots in Webster. Best Texter, Best Caller, Best Emailer, Listener of the Year, or maybe Best Cuck Story of the Year, or Most Perverted Fake Story of the Year, or whatever else we can come up with. Who should win? Who will win? Who gives a crap? Bring a new unwrapped toy for Annie's Hope on behalf of Jay Randolph Jr. and you'll get in for free. Find out more at tmastl.com.
Butter me up, Daddy.
It's the Brown & Crouppen Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2.
Welcome back. It's TMA, presented by Brown & Crouppen. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Ken Strode has been replaced by Greg Warren in studio. The Michelob Ultra Studios. Look, Doug, it's the great Greg Warren right here in our studios on YouTube. It's a whole thing. You can watch and talk it over with him.
Is that right? We're live?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, there
Video?
it is.
Oh, wow.
There it is. They're in there talking it over right now. Erin in St. Chuck is, and she has nipple rings.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You have any nipple rings, Greg?
No, never really thought about it until now.
And now that you're pondering it, where are you?
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, there's some things I'd like to do over. And I thought maybe I should have worn more scarves in my life, and maybe nipple rings is the next level. I don't know.
Yeah.
Scarves or ascots could have led to a job in the front
Ascot,
office.
I think I would have probably been. You know, I'm a comedian, Doug. Ascot's typically a more a dramatic actor.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't.
Or an
Sir
incompetent
Lawrence Olivier type.
president of baseball.
Oh.
Wait a minute, who?
John Mozeliak just took a little shrapnel from, what do you call him? You call him Hawk?
Hawk? You taking shots at Mozeliak? It's not.
Yeah, you mean the card-carrying member of the Brooks Brothers franchise?
I like the way Mozeliak dresses. You know, I like the way he runs a team.
Are you trying to get a job here?
I don't know. I mean, maybe some green seats.
Maybe working on Bailey's.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe I would have held on to a couple of those guys that seem to be doing well in the postseason.
Yeah, there were a couple of them who led a little World Series run there at Jordan Montgomery. Where did Greg get that hoodie? It's sexy, and I'd be curious to know it.
The airport.
You got it at the airport?
I got it at Lambert Field.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I like that. That's the old, it's like the 1980s Cardinals logo.
Yeah, it's a good looking.
I like that logo.
Here's the thing, man. This is the time when they get you, because I was on a cruise working.
I got to hear about this cruise.
Oh, yeah. I did that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's when the temperature dropped. So I was in cruise clothes, and I got back to St. Louis, and it was like in the 30s. And I don't want to catch a cold or anything.
Where were you cruising? Where were you cruising? And you got to tell Doug who you were cruising with.
Well, I'll set the stage for you.
Nice.
All right.
Scene center.
It's kind of crazy career stuff going on here. I mean, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'm supposed to be opening for Nate Bargatze at the Fox. Okay, he's doing 3 shows at the Fox. Then we're going to Indianapolis. I don't tour with Nate that often, but he's like, "Hey, I'm going to be in St. Louis." You know, I think I asked him. I was like, "Hey, man, what if I do it?" You know, and he's like, "Just work the whole week with me." So we were doing all this big tour. It was going to be fun. You know, I'd see some friends at the Fox. I've never played the Fox. And then I get a call the week before, and his road manager's like, "Hey, man, those shows are canceled."
That bastard.
I'm like, "What are you doing, man? Was he okay?" He goes, "Well, he's hosting Saturday Night Live."
Boom. Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was like, "Well, that's awesome." So I think I got 5 days off. I think I got 5 days off in St. Louis. I was looking forward to it. It was that Halloween weekend, and Wednesday, I'm sitting at Caldy's in Kirkwood. 3, 4 o'clock maybe in the afternoon, talking to this girl, pretty girl.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah, just a friend of mine, but a pretty girl, you know.
Oh, I thought you meant the girl at the counter.
She's pretty too. I know who you're talking about. There's 2 or 3 of them, but I think I know who you're talking about. I know your type.
Doug, I know your type, Hawk. This Caldy's is a whole scene.
Oh, it's a scene. It's
I've
a
never
scene,
been there.
Tim.
Where is it?
It's right in downtown Kirkwood, Doug.
Caldy's?
Caldy's? I mean, it's with where
Where have I missed it?
Casey Sports and Target was 30 years ago.
Oh, it's Pioneer Cafe, I thought.
No, man, you're thinking that's a little bit farther north on Kirkwood Road.
All right.
I'm talking where the condos are, that kind of thing, near Bar Louie, right next to Bar Louie.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great place. Anyways, I'm talking to this girl. I get a call from my agent, and I decline it. I'm like, nah.
Not now. Yeah. I got a little thing going.
I haven't talked to her in a while. She's very pretty, very nice. Then I get a text from him. He's like, "Hey, this is a little bit important." So I'm like, "Hey, I gotta." So I call. He goes, "Listen, man, they had a fallout on the Bert Kreischer cruise." He goes, "They need to be in Miami in like 24 hours. Can you do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I should do this, man. I should do this." So I went on Bert. You guys know who Bert is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a great guy. He's been good to me for a long time, and he's just he's a maniac. And he had like 3,000 people of his fans that basically look like a different version of Bert, most of them. So we fly down to Miami, and we cruise in the Bahamas for like 4 days.
How about that?
It was nuts, man. It was nuts. It was like 15 comedians on the ship.
Who was on the ship?
We had Bert, of course, Miss Pat, Big J Okerson, Jim Norton. Got to see Jim's show. It was outstanding. I think it's Ms. Pat, by the way, not Miss Pat.
Doug, it's more of a Gloria Steinem thing.
Yeah.
Norton has a podcast. I think that's pretty popular.
He's got a serious show too. He's insanely funny.
He's been in studio on the show.
Shang Wang, very, very funny. Man, I'm missing some people. Pete Lee, Mark Normand, who's killing it these days. A bunch of these guys. Sean Patton.
Shecky Green was.
Shecky wasn't there.
He wasn't.
No, neither was Jackie Gale. Doug, I'm sorry.
Norm Crosby.
Norm Crosby wasn't there. Yeah. See, I was trying to make this sound like a big deal, and now you're undercutting me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're undercutting me. I'm going on a cruise unless Shecky Green's there.
Was there a part of you when you got the text and the call like, hey, you got to get down to Miami in 24 hours, and you're like, or you're like, this is a great opportunity? Because I got the sense that you weren't 100% in.
This is why you're in the media, man.
I guess is why
you see nuance.
Yeah.
You see you pick up on
physical
subtleties.
Physical tells.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, it is.
You're also a poker player, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. Well, here's what happened. I wasn't thinking clearly because I was like, I'd also come off of like 5 weeks on the road, and I was just like.
You want those 5 days off?
Yeah,
to
just
relax in
5
St.
days,
Louis?
man. I needed to get into a routine. I needed to get some writing done, and talk to girls at Caldi's and stuff like that. And so I kind of told my agent, I'm like, hey, I think this is cool. I go, can I think about it? And he's like, yeah. And then
he was a little disappointed.
Yeah, and then also, so it was Wednesday afternoon. The thing was Friday, so it was like I guess a little less than 48 hours. So I go, and then he called me back. He's like, hey man, they want to know. Like he called me back, like they need to know now.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I kind of hemmed it on. He's like, he goes, man, do whatever you want. He goes, but you should do this. And I was like, yeah, what am I thinking, man? I go, hey, if I can. There was the Mizzou wrestling coach Brian Smith. Was in town speaking at Llewellyn's in Webster on Thursday night, and I had plans to go to that, take my dad. He loves that stuff. Yeah. I love that stuff. I'm a giant Mizzou wrestling fan. Brian's my friend, and I knew my dad would be into it. I was like, hey, if I can fly in Friday morning, I'll do it. And he's like, yeah, they said no problem. So but I was kind of like, I wasn't thinking clearly. Yeah. I was like, man, I just feel like, man, he's like, and my agent, he's a good guy, but he kind of he's like, hey man, you should do this. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. What am I doing, man?
Now that you've done, I assume you're glad.
Oh,
that you
so
did.
Great, man. Yeah.
You have to make your own reservations for a flight out, or they take care of it. You have somebody take care of your flight.
That's what's key here. That's the important stuff. The thing is,
curious.
Iggy gets into what's key.
Who's paying for this?
Are you big enough that
this is
you
the
can tell
thing
them?
that everybody wants to know? Yeah, I'm gonna go to some Thanksgiving holiday parties, and it's eventually going to come to this question. If you're a comedian, they will always ask, now, do they pay for your travel? Every time.
A last-minute flight to Miami could be expensive.
It was expensive, Doug. But
did you go Southwest Fort Lauderdale?
I did go Southwest to Miami, buddy.
Yeah, now Miami is a Southwest option for us, Doug.
Here's the thing. St. Louis is a major airport, and you're going to get one Southwest flight a day. That's your option. One direct Southwest flight a day to most cities. You can get most places.
They can.
But, I had to leave at 5 a.m.
You just have to make sure that you're up late or up early.
I would have taken you through Allegiant airline to Orlando and then drove on over.
Is that right?
Sounds convenient.
I got
Greg's.
No, I got to give you a call next time.
I would have saved you money.
No, yeah.
Would you have minded the 3-hour, 4-hour drive?
I would not have cared for it, Tim. I mean, this was. Here's the thing, man. I wasn't planning on this money.
You get a per diem too every day. Obviously.
Again, that's another thing people want to know, man. Do they? It's a cruise ship, Hawk. You get whatever you want. They had liquor and food everywhere. Yeah, and a little bit of swag. I got a straw hat.
You did get a straw hat.
Yeah, I had a straw hat with Bert's logo on it.
Nice.
Things like that. Some T-shirts, things like that. Yeah, what was I going to say?
How'd you get from the airport to the cruise ship? You have to Uber?
This is all great stuff,
pays
man.
for that?
This is what people want to know. These are the questions. I usually, it's Thanksgiving when I'm asking, but I might as well get it out of the way.
Yeah, and then you could just play this at Thanksgiving. Hey, I know you all have questions.
Yeah,
I did an interview on an HD2 station.
Iggy pretty much got it. But here is my thinking on the thing is that this is money that I wasn't planning on. I'm going to spend whatever I want on whatever. I dumped over $1,000 at the casino easy.
Oh, is that right?
Got up big.
What were you playing?
Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
Oh, wow.
You guys play that?
I have not played. I mean, I played Texas Hold'em when I'm playing against people, but I haven't played it like as a casino game.
It's the casino game is a bit of a shakedown.
Oh,
yeah, but man, there's a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go big.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you win, it's an expensive game to play.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, because you're playing basically.
Are you playing against the people?
You're playing against a dealer.
Playing against
it's like sort of blackjack style.
Okay.
You're all sitting around playing against
Yeah,
the dealer,
right.
and there's sort of like different. You get your 2 cards, okay, and then you decide whether if you want to, and you got a few bets up there.
Sure,
you have
sure.
like 3 bets, and if you want to back it up, you can go 4 times your bet right there. So if you got, I don't know, ace jack suited or better.
Doug, I'm playing ace jack suited.
Now, did you make enough to pay for this expensive flight and then the Uber ride to the cruise ship?
I think probably next time I'll just send you guys the paperwork. I mean,
We'll
it'd
talk
probably
to
be better.
CJ.
Could you send us your itinerary?
Just send it
and
to
also
you.
maybe like a P&L of some kind?
Yeah, no,
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I want to put you at ease, Doug, and I came out in the black on this deal. Like
you didn't take a loss.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
what we want to know is if you're dropping $1,000 to play Ultimate Texas Hold'em, how much you make for this gig?
There you go.
Well, I'm not going to get into the particulars, but and again, this is more about Bert's a social media machine. There's a lot of man that they took a photo of me on the ship, like kind of just with the sunset in the background, and they did the stuff where they fills or things
Sure,
like
the
that,
filters,
and it's like the perfect thing. If I want to get on like Our Time or something like that, it's the profile.
Our Time.
Yeah.
You tell these smoke shows at Caldy's how much money you make?
No, I don't. I haven't dropped it. I mean,
That'll get them.
You think so?
It might be more of a Napoli move.
Yeah, well, I can't play in that. No, the Napoli. Yeah,
that's where Doug hangs out.
I know, man. I know.
Most nights I'm there. It's
can't-
unusual when I'm not there.
I can't play the Bar Napoli money game. Caldy's, I'm all right there.
Yeah, you can hang there.
Yeah, but Napoli, it's gonna have to be like they think I'm quirky or artistic or I don't know. But if it comes down to bankroll or clothing, things like that, you can look at Doug. You can see this guy's got a
GQ
little
smooth. Look at that.
no, he's got a little money in his pocket. Yeah.
That's kind of a Miami shade of blue too, isn't it?
It is, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
However, if anybody knows what if they know what's what with money, it's not cheap to buy a sweatshirt at the airport.
No, it's not.
It's not.
So that sends a message
you
that
see
hey,
this?
things are going well.
Yeah. Now they probably think, oh, this guy got it at Rally House or something like that. No, man, this is the airport.
It's a Cardinal giveaway. I could get you some of those.
This is not a Cardinal giveaway. It's not a Cardinal giveaway. I mean, I know that it may be they give away a hoodie at times, but it's not this. This is a nice hoodie, man. And I'm not saying the Cardinals don't give away nice stuff, but they're not giving away to the first 20,000 fans this hoodie. They can't get a #1 pitcher if they do that kind of thing.
That's right.
You should have kept the airport tag on it just to kind of flaunt your wealth.
Oh yeah, man.
That's the move.
Yeah, that's a good move.
You want to see what goes on in our text inbox, Greg? Just
boy, it looks like male nudity is what it is. Yeah. Male nudity and aroused male nudity, I guess is how I would describe it.
Do you ever incorporate that into one of your shows?
No, Doug, we've talked about this. It's a PG rated act.
That's right.
I don't know why I come on this show to promote appearances because
especially when you see that.
Yeah, the derelicts that listen to you guys, they're not coming to my show. They want to see filth. They're not coming to my show.
Gosh.
Let me ask you, and this is no shot at
this is another expense related question.
Yeah, sure, man. I know. I got you.
It's not expense related.
Again, I'll just send you the spreadsheets, and we can get down to.
And this is no shot at Helium because I love the people at Helium. They'll every once in a while give us comedians to bring in.
I'm not playing Helium, by the way, guys. I'm at the Funny Bone this weekend.
I know you're at the Funny Bone.
You bring up the competition.
I know you're at the Funny
You bring
Bone.
up my finances, and you want to control my travel. I'm playing the Funny Bone this weekend.
I know you are.
But here's a question about Helium.
But he just talked about being on a cruise.
Yeah,
with Bert Sugarman or whatever his name is.
Sugarman. Yeah.
The boxing guy?
Sugarman.
But I do see.
Yeah, me and Bert Convey.
I do see. They have big names there, obviously, but I see a lot of no-name comedians at Helium, and you are well known. I was just curious, have you ever been asked to play the Helium?
Sure, man. When they first moved here, they're a chain. And I've played a couple of their. I played one of their clubs in Buffalo and Philly, but the St. Louis Funny Bone is like family. I mean, it's the same people that have worked there.
It's an institution.
Yeah, so it would be a real dirtbag move to. I could have probably, used it to my advantage and be like, hey, I can sell a bunch of tickets in St. Louis, and they think they knew that. Now you got to book me in your other 7 clubs, but these people. It's the Funny Bone is. It's a throwback, man. It is. It is. There's Funny Bones all over the country, but this is an independent Funny Bone. It's only St. Louis owned, and the same staff for the most part have been there forever. It's completely dysfunctional. Yeah, completely. But I love these people. I love and the bones of it. When I lived in New York City, I would get a couple of my friends to, hey, you guys want to go work St. Louis? Let me make a call, and he'll usually take my rec. But I would tell these guys, listen, man, it's St. Louis all the way. Like, there's going to be a show where you're going to walk out of there being like, those people were animals, man. They had too much to drink. The club didn't do a whole lot to intervene, and the waitress was loud, and she told me to get out of the way, and I was like, that's going to happen, probably. I go, you're also going to walk out of there going, that other show was the best one I've had in 3 years, because it's low ceilings, they pack them in tight. It is the sound is perfect. It's rough around the edges. It's a cool comedy club, man. Yeah.
Iggy Funny Bone. Funny Bone's where it is.
Well, I know, but you say you're playing the Fox, so Funny Bone get mad.
Well, I didn't get to play the Fox.
Because you were going to.
That got canceled.
Yeah. You play other places in St. Louis.
Where's the biggest place you have been?
Man, I'm trying to biggest. I did a theater tour with Bob and Tom for a few years, but you know what? I opened for Rodney Carrington at some giant arena in Dayton, Ohio, one time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it almost looked like a it was like this. It was old. It was like a place where you would have watched like ABA basketball or something. I owned a giant. But I am opening for Nate on New Year's Eve with a few other guys, and it's whatever the Miami hockey team, wherever they play.
Oh, in Hollywood, in Sunrise.
Sunrise, yeah, that's where it is. Yeah. So we're doing that'll be
nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's outstanding. So you're playing with the Panthers.
Yes, we're doing that New Year's Eve. Haven't booked any travel on that. You're saying go through Orlando on that deal.
Text me, I'll save you a few bucks.
Who will pay for your parking?
That's a good question.
Do you have to pay for parking?
That is the one thing they don't. Man, I got to pay my own parking.
No,
no. You think I need to play hardball on this
you
one?
need to go to Nate.
Go to Bargatze.
Yeah,
and you're saying don't go to his people. Go right to him.
Because he likes that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's not busy anymore.
No.
So just go right to him and play hardball and say, hey,
this is going to be $50, so it's kind of take it or leave it. Here you go.
Man, have you parked at the airport lately?
This is the airport. This is the airport. I thought we were talking about at the venue.
No, the venue. Now
they're going to take care of that. You're going to be
man.
Well, there you go, Iggy. Don't worry about that. The venue is good.
Man. We'll probably have some sort of transportation. Maybe.
Well, that's the big question. Did you drive yourself here, or did somebody bring you?
I drove myself.
So you had to pay for your own gas, or can you write that off?
I don't. I think maybe every year I sort of estimate the mileage that. From going to different radio appearances.
I would get somebody to pick you up.
Nice. Look at this.
Who are you saying?
Do you need a new manager? Because I kind of feel like there might be an audition going on.
It is good, man. I mean, I
book you at the Helium?
Yeah, again, I don't trust Iggy. He's not going to care about loyalties or anything like that. He's going to go bottom dollar. He's going to have.
He's a hardball guy.
He is going to to hardball. Yeah, I also see he doesn't care about comfort a lot. He's going to have me routed through San Antonio to go to Miami, just to save $30. He's going to have me flying out of that thing in Belleville.
Well, he just recommended it.
That's where he wanted to
fly to Orlando.
Allegiant. That's a great airport.
That's where you fly out of Belleville.
Yeah,
a lot quicker than
I've had 2 flights
Lambert.
Canceled from there this past July.
I'm gonna do it someday just for the experience. They've got some stuff going to Florida.
Yes,
but
it can be wonderful, but they will just cancel a flight.
Really?
We waited there from 2 to 9, and I have 2 young children. And then at 9 o'clock they announce it's just canceled, and so you have to drive then back from that area.
Yeah,
and,
it's a good hour and a half to
pay for the parking for 7 hours.
And pay for the parking for 7 hours.
Again, man, Doug,
I'm worried about parking
focusing
fees.
in on what's important.
Right.
Greg, tell our listeners about this weekend at Funny Bone, to be clear.
Yeah, feel bad. I'm kind of letting Iggy down, but I will be at the Funny Bone.
I love the Funny Bone. Stop with that.
It's the Westport Plaza location. They have one out in St. Charles, and Thursday through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a lot of shows. 3 on Saturday. I added the 5 o'clock for I'm getting a little older, Tim. And
I've gotten you 4 shows, but go ahead.
Yeah, what's that?
I would have gotten you 4 shows.
You could have gotten me for again hardball.
I would have gotten you matinee.
But and then Sunday we're doing a matinee show that's it's family friendly.
Family friendly.
Kids, can you bring your
no
kids?
No nudity in that one.
What's that?
There's no nudity in that one.
No. None of the kind of stuff that's on your
text inbox here.
No, it's none of that at all.
Good.
Yeah, this is
with erect gentlemen who our listeners just send pictures.
I can't even talk about this show now. I can't even mention it. It's court ordered. I think I can't discuss this show with what in the same context of what's going on.
No.
The family friendly program is what I wonder if I would take. Would this play for a 6-year-old, or is this more like in the 10 to 12-year-old range?
It was initially written and conceived for, I thought, maybe 10 to 16, 17. However, 6 they won't be the youngest ones.
Is that right?
You get a hold of me. I got you. I'll give you guys VIP treatment, and your kid can come up and tell a joke. We interview them. We do like sort of a talk show for the kids, and actually, I think a couple of your listeners have been, because it's really nice, it's amazing. And then one kid will get up and tell a joke that obviously their parents, their dad told them, and just be like, this is not what this show is.
The children are working blue.
One kid did this. This girl, probably middle school, maybe early high school, got up and told a joke, and I was like, oh no. Now luckily, this 6-year-old probably didn't know what she was talking about. And here's the thing also, I get snacks.
Snacks are there.
I have a Sam's.
Hey, you want to ask on that?
Yeah, sure.
I would get a writer for you. I would say this is what we need back in the dressing room.
Yeah, I guess so, man. With those writers, I always kind of felt like, I don't know, man. Just go get your own stuff. But I have a Sam's membership, strictly just
Costco too?
No.
Yeah, to
Sam's
call these girl about that.
Yeah, probably should drop that. Yeah, I might have Iggy sort of get that.
Yeah, I think let him represent you.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I would take care of a lot of things for you.
He wants the job.
Doesn't sound like this is an interview.
It wouldn't be much. What are you working? A couple times a month?
No, it's a lot, man. Yeah.
Lately you have, but what's the longest you've had off this year as far as? Probably 7 to 10 days. God, I don't mind. I made some mistakes financially in my. I was telling Doug in my 30s and 40s, and I'm going to have to work for a while till I drop, probably. Yeah. I mean, it's really good the last few years. You should talk to Mark Hanna.
I don't. Who's Mark Hanna?
He's our financial guy.
What was your financial guy?
He's one of our sponsors.
Yeah, this is the other thing about Iggy. My brother's a financial guy. He's going to pull me out of pull me away from my brother. He's going to pull me. He's going to sever family relationships. My other brother does my insurance. Iggy's going to cut that.
James Carlton's on that.
He's going
to ruin the relationship with the Funny Bone that goes back.
Yeah.
I'm rerouting your entire career.
Yeah, my brothers aren't going to talk to me. The Funny Bone won't want any part of me, but Iggy's going to save me $7 a month.
Aren't you happy you came in this morning?
Yeah.
Feel free to use some of this material for your show.
Absolutely.
Oh, and now he's kind of writing as well.
Iggy is basically, this is what happens every Thanksgiving. They ask me how much I pay for flights. They tell me a story that's, non sequitur, and they say I can use that in my act. This is what goes on at most holiday parties. Yeah.
Greg Warren this weekend, including a triple header on Saturday at the Funny Bone at Westport Plaza. How do you do?
Yeah.
And Sunday, how many shows? Sunday is just the matinee.
Just the matinee.
What time is that? Because I really might.
Hit me up. Hawk's got my number.
Hawk's got it.
You guys would be. We'd love to have you there, man.
I got to tell you.
Go through me. I'll take care of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
Somehow, what I was trying, I was going to get you comp tickets for you and your family.
But now
I have a feeling. I have a feeling that there's going to be money exchanged, and the Funny Bone nor I are going to see any of that.
You got a good manager now. I think.
Oh, I do. Yeah. This guy's slick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Greg Warren in studio at the Funny Bone at Westport Plaza this weekend. We'll take a break and come back with Jeremy Rutherford Talking Blues, brought to you by Greg's new financial manager, Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. This is TMA, presented by Brown and Crouppen from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of rosé Prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there, all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Brown and Crouppen Morning After will be hosting the End of the Year Awards to celebrate TMA fans December 14th at Hot Shots in Webster. Best texter, best caller, best emailer, or listener of the year, or maybe best cuck story of the year, or most perverted fake story of the year, or whatever else we can come up with. Who should win? Who will win? Who gives a crap? Bring a new unwrapped toy for Annie's Hope on behalf of Jay Randolph Jr. and you'll get in for free. Find out more at tmastl.com.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lutman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflutman.com, bringing people and properties together.
The Morning After has your chance to win tickets to see Hootie and the Blowfish. Collective Soul. Edwin McCain. On the Summer Camp with Trucks Tour, Saturday, June 1st, 2024 at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Open up your TMA mobile app and enter keyword Hootie to win. That's keyword Hootie on your TMA mobile app.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hey, this is Joe Buck. We all have people we miss and who we would do anything to see or hear again. Whenever I want to hear my dad's voice, all I have to do is go to YouTube, but most people don't have that luxury. Now with Sound Story, your family's stories can be saved forever. Sound Story is a professionally produced hour-long conversation in which you or one of your loved ones is interviewed by the host of your choice, including TMA's own Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Jackson Burkett. Hundreds of St. Louisans have already told their stories with Sound Story, and the experience is one they loved.
I think everybody that can do it, they should, for their children, for their grandchildren, because I know I would give anything to hear my parents' voice.
Visit mysoundstory.com today and use promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. That's mysoundstory.com, promo code TMA for 10% off your Sound Story gift certificate purchase. Sound Story, for you, for them, forever.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Well, let's put our golf where our mouths are.
Now.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2.
Yeah, you're right. This is the sickest Ween Wednesday we've ever had.
Wednesdays are usually very sick around here.
Yeah.
As are the Weens.
Yeah, Dean and Gene Ween. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Hanna has joined us on TMA, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen, Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn. The Plowhawk Action Jackson, Ken Strode, is left the show. He is now representing Greg Warren.
He got a nice little gig for himself in that last segment.
No self-serving comments at all.
No.
I was taking a lot of notes, I got to tell you. Strong word.
Yeah, he recommended you to handle Greg's finances, even though Greg's brother has handled them for decades. So you got that account
that's
now. I
why
don't know if you.
Greg came out and said hello. That was nice.
Yeah, so that's good. He got you that.
Oh, what a guy.
Yeah, he is. Jeremy Rutherford, what a guy. He was at trivia night on Saturday night, and he is presented every Wednesday here and takes two-part questions on TMA. Doug, he's presented by this gentleman right here, Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies, evergreenstl.com, a life Sherpa. Morning, JR.
Hi, Mark. Bye, Eggy.
Yep. He's not even here, JR. He's already gone.
Already gone. Hey, Mark, we got to rework this contract. They can't put us on after Greg Warren. Like, there should be some rule against you can't come on after comedian. I think this is where people are getting out and pumping their gas now that Greg's off.
Oh, JR. No, not with a red-hot Blues team that's outscored the Avalanche and Lightning 13-2 over the last 2 games. What in the hell? I texted the Nonling this morning. I said, Nonling, what in the hell's going on? So I'll ask you the same thing. What in the hell's going on?
This group's playing like a team. They really are. I think that's the biggest thing. And Craig Berube touched on that past couple media sessions, just talking about their willingness to come together and I think sacrifice. And I think also we're looking at some players that have been criticized a lot for the past year or so, 2 years, playing some good hockey like the guy I wrote about today, Torrey Krug. Had a great game last night, 2 dimes on the passes, one a no-look to Vrana, and that broke that game open. So just really things are coming together right now, I think, for the team and a lot of individual players.
Krug really looks like the guy that they wanted him to be when they first signed him. That pass, the second pass especially. No look, looking at the net, put it right on Vrana's tape.
Amazing. And he is. And you just wonder, how much of it is health? Because I know he was banged up the past couple years. I think he played somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 games or so. But also, what about the motivation, just everything that happened this past offseason with the proposed trade to Philadelphia? And he wants to show people that he can play, because if he isn't here for the next 3 years of the contract, are there other teams out there that want him? Is there a place that he could go? But he's playing dynamite. I know he didn't have a point for 10 straight games, but he's got 6 in the last 4 and plus 10 in the last 6 games, playing some real good hockey.
In a way, Thursday night last week against the Coyotes, especially on the power play, my God, it was like it bottomed out. And ever since, he has been on fire here. In addition, in general, I mean, Colton Parayko. I mean, what in the world's going on there?
Just phenomenal. I think he's been great all season. You know, honesty in media here. You kind of try to get started on your story midway through the game. And last night when Colton Parayko scored that goal and he goes 200 feet, I kind of had that play all broken up and had the video ready
16
to go.
strides, Doug. That's what JR counted. 16 strides.
Really? Yeah, and then Torrey Krug just did his thing, and so you just hit the delete button on the Parayko story. But he's played great, not just defensively on top of guys, but I think that Colton Parayko has added some offense to his game, which he had earlier in his career, but I think they've kind of turned him into a defensive specialist, getting a lot of draws in the defensive zone. But as you saw him last night, he can skate.
He's done what I call it. You guys probably don't understand this. You don't know hockey like I do. I call it moving up on the play. That's what he did a few times last night, and he had a goal and a couple of other good chances.
Is that the same as supporting?
Yeah, what is
sort of? It's like getting glorious scoring opportunities for yourself.
What about buy-in?
Glory?
He has bought in all this. All this has happened.
Oh my God, it is all happening.
I got a dictionary in my bag that whenever I just want to sound fancy, I go to it and just throw in a few. Moving up the play.
Nice.
You know,
Moving up the play. Yeah.
Sprinkle that stuff into the story.
Yeah, I like that.
Doug, what about Binner chicken dinner last night? How about that, JR?
Unreal. Yeah, I think he's been good all year. And not to say that you see this coming, but he just didn't have a chance last year on so many situations. And, gosh, I got so tired of the out-of-state, national media looking at his numbers, saying that he's bad. He hasn't been great since the Stanley Cup run. Yeah, there were a couple years in there for sure. I'm not trying to be naive here, especially in the bubble and the season after. But I thought last year when he had a chance, he was a good goalie, and now he's starting to show it. Now, granted, the shots are coming from the outside, but he's been great against let me get into my little dictionary here, high danger chances, too.
Oh, God. The greasy areas?
The greasy areas, he's been good. Any other areas there in front of him that you want to talk about, he's been good.
Jeremy Rutherford with us every Wednesday, presented by the gentleman in studio with us with the sick flow. Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com. JR takes your questions. Doug, oftentimes they're two-part questions.
They don't need to be.
And you were getting asked two-part questions at St. Gabriel's on Saturday night.
I was. It was funny. You walk through the gym there, and people would have a question. I'd start to walk away. Wait! It's a two-parter. Come back. And the other part I was kind of wondering about is a couple people at the tables I walked by, and they said, "Hey, you're really fitting in on the show," and I didn't know how to take that.
Doug, what a great compliment that is, isn't it?
It's usually the beginning of the end of a career.
This one starts
us for two-parters.
Here we go. Well, this one is just interesting. It says one-parter for JR. Are there any press boxes without dividers so you can stare directly into your neighbor's eyes and communicate lust while you drop yesterday's asparagus from Nobu and Arnold?
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
No, but they don't need to see that. With asparagus, you can smell that.
Oh.
Clip that off. Hey, JR, you think you can convince Doug to say Reinhard Davis like Ken Wilson? And secondly, is Lou K as hot in the press box as he is on Twitter? Hubba hubba. That's from my stepdad, Gary.
Oh.
Doug, I'll buy you a dinner if you know.
Wow.
Reinhard Davis. There. Lubos Partechko. That was the other one he used to scream.
And yeah, Korek is a smoking gentleman.
There you go. Two-parter here from Chairman Steve in Wildwood. Will we win the cup? Also, has he been to the new Love convenience store at the McNutt exit down his way? It's very nice. That's from Chairman Steve in Wildwood.
No on the cup, and have not been to the Love store. But I'll tell you one thing about Jefferson County. I've grown up here and lived out here a lot of my life. Is it's the only place you can go where you stand in line and the guy in front of you is writing the check for milk and maybe even some lottery tickets. I don't know if they let you
Is that right?
write the check for lottery tickets. Maybe a little Campbell's soup up on the counter, but yeah, definitely got the checkbook out. And
were you behind me yesterday?
I like that a lot. I know we talked a little bit about this when you were on 101 with me on Monday, but now as far as realistic outcomes for this season, I would think, I mean, it's one thing if you go, man, 8-2 against Colorado, and then extrapolate an odd 60 minutes and go, holy crap. But really, this starts with that Devils Canadiens back-to-back at home, picking up 4 points. Certainly a disappointing game against the Jets. An odd game against the Coyotes that they won, but I think a lot of people's takeaway was, oh my God, the power play. And then you see what happened against Colorado, and now Tampa without scoring them 13-2. So does the goalpost move for the 2023-2024 Blues?
I think so. I think when you win 5 of 6, it's got to say something, right? And I think I told you guys a couple weeks ago when they didn't have a power play against Montreal, that's the way to go. They didn't have one last night, right? So isn't that 2 games in the last little stretch, no power plays? That's the way to go. So I think that they're catching a little bit of traction in terms of the way they're playing, and it's leading to some confidence for these guys. And each game seems like its own individual game. And I think that before it was like, okay, nothing's going right. We're losing these games. Season seems to be falling apart. And now this time, each time you walk in the locker room, they got a game later that night. You can just feel a buzz. You can feel, this team feels like it's got something going. And now I think you're going to get into a situation, guys, where, hey, everybody counted us out, bad start. We weren't going to get anywhere. And I think that's starting to motivate them.
The old Corby Smart trick. So with regard to that, what do you attribute it to? This isn't attempting to get you to say, oh, well, it was O'Reilly, it was Tarasenko, but certainly there are some new faces and some new leadership in the sense that Shen is the captain, and some guys who probably knew they were on their way out, who may have been frustrated with dollars allocated to Thomas and Kyrou and not themselves, are not here. And then in addition to that, a team that may be seeing a defensive system that maybe they were struggling with or not sure about in the offseason in the early stages when they weren't scoring goals now start to lead to some success. So perhaps you have some good chemistry in the room and starting to see it translate with a new system that's been implemented on the ice.
Yeah, a couple of things. I think what you touched on, Tim, I think the off-the-ice stuff last season did factor into it, whether it be Tarasenko on his way out, whether it be is O'Reilly going to get moved, the contracts for Kyrou, Thomas. I don't feel like there's any of that right now. Whether it be Thomas and Kyrou and their contracts kicking in, I think people feel like, for the most part, they're deserving of those contracts in terms of people that are fair enough to look into the future and see that these could be those types of players. Also, the camaraderie. Kevin Hayes maybe hasn't done too much on the ice, but I think he's been a guy. I think I walked up to Bennington a couple days ago and said, hey, has he been advertised? And he just looked at me and said, funny dude. I'm working on a Pavel Buchnevich story where I probably talked to 12 players in the locker room, and I just said, hey, give me a funny Buchnevich story, and they're just filling the notebook. Like, the camaraderie in the locker room, I think, is just great right now. And then on the ice, I feel looking back now, it did take some time to figure out part of that defensive system. I think they're through that phase now. I think it's obviously translating into some offense. They're at 4.5 goals per game in the last 6, so playing really well. So I just think that this is the direction that the team, in terms to Doug Armstrong, felt that it could go, and I think that it's playing to that capability right now.
We're a show that largely concerns ourselves with logistics. We went through Greg Warren's expenses in the last segment. Do you have to pay to park when you cover a Blues game?
I was going to tell you that last night. That a lot of times you get down there, though, and it is free parking, but a lot of times it's swallowed up. There's 2 events. You got Stiefel next door, and you can't find that parking. And, so, Doug, sometimes you do have to get the wallet out, unlike Greg Warren, who gets everything for free because he's funny, and pay to park down at Enterprise Center.
Ouch.
I also like to talk a good trade proposal.
Trade proposal!
Well, with all this positive energy, there's some trades that could come up. And can you think of any really, really good or really, really bad trade proposals that you've heard through the years, JR? I'm sure you've come across some doozies.
Yeah, there's been a few of them. The one that I have mentioned a few times, I don't know if people have heard it, is TJ Oshie and Kevin Shattenkirk were going to go to San Jose, and it was going to be for, what I was told, Thomas Hertl and the number 1 overall pick for the Sharks that year, which was number 9, and that they used that to later pick Timo Meier. But that trade proposal got scuttled. I think San Jose pulled out at the last minute. And then the Blues, of course, made the trade with Shattenkirk to Washington. TJ Oshie went to Washington, and I think Shattenkirk went there, too, before he later went to the Rangers. So if you make that San Jose trade, it sounds good, Hertl and potentially Timo Meier, but I don't know that you would have got Braden Shen then, because you used that first-round pick, I think, in the Shattenkirk deal to get Braden Shen.
Why did they trade Oshie again? I forget.
Yeah, he went to Washington. Did you say why? Or
why? Because he was
so
still
that was
highly productive when he was here.
Yeah, he was, Doug. That was a situation where they were coming off that series loss to Minnesota, kind of deflating. I think the Blues had that reputation of the country boy, clubhouse, and Oshie was a part of that. These guys hadn't done anything, but yet they were the toast of the town, and things were going to have to change because they weren't coming together. So I think at that point, even though they had some success and those guys were popular, things weren't coming together, and he was the guy who they felt had to go.
JR, your story last time, we talked a little bit about Torrey Krug. I haven't read in The Athletic yet. Someone said he looks like a man on a mission. And who is saying that, and what are his teammates saying about the recent transformation we're seeing from Torrey Krug?
Yeah, that was Jordan Bennington at his locker stall last night, asking him about Torrey Krug and his defensive play, because obviously that was under the microscope the last couple of years, last year. And not only that, but his recent offensive surge, and that's when Bennington said a man on a mission. And like I said, players, you're not just playing for your team. Doug Armstrong still might have it in the game plan with a guy like Scott Brnovich playing well, that Torrey Krug's a guy that he's eventually still going to try to move. So I think Blues fans watching Torrey Krug, you want to be happy for him. You want to be happy for the team and the way it's playing, but you also want to be happy for the opportunity that if he is a guy that you try to move, that there's some interest around the league. So I think Bennington's right. What we've seen here the last few games from Krug, he's been on a mission.
There it is, JR. Every Wednesday presented by this gentleman, Doug. His name's Mark Hanna.
Thank you, Hansie.
And he's with Evergreen Wealth Strategies online at evergreenstl.com. JR, thank you so much, sir.
All right, thanks, boys. Glad to fit in, I think.
Oh, my God, yeah, Doug.
Gosh, yeah.
He's part of the show now.
He sure is. Thank you,
Expanding this
Rutsy.
roster. There he is, Jeremy Rutherford, with us every Wednesday. He really is. I'm a big fan. You know what I am? I've decided a J.R. Lemming.
Are you really?
I'm a Courtney Landrum Lemming. I'm a Lemming a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah, I just decided it. I just decided it right here.
Okay,
I'm a Mark
fine.
Hanna Lemming. EvergreenSTL.com. No.
I accept lemonading.
You do?
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you like your money and you want to see it grow, you become a Mark Hanna Lemming.
What do you think's going on? How about the last couple weeks?
About that.
What's doing here?
Goes around, comes around.
Amen. They call Doug the Bear. And I don't know if that's because of his financial outlook or his hairy torso and love-giving ability.
Who calls me that? The people in the financial industry?
I think so. I think it's on Wall Street.
Oh.
You can elaborate.
Well, the market was up like 400 some odd points yesterday, right? That's
about
very
that?
bullish. There's
How
no
about
bear
that?
involved there.
Soft landing?
Soft cow?
Oh,
Clip that off.
gosh.
What? What's wrong with that? We're having a financial
okay.
discussion.
I don't know. I just hope there's no dead cat bounce. Or is that a good thing?
Are you going into the dictionary again?
Yeah, Jeremy Rutherford's dictionary.
Dead cat
I like
bounce?
that.
Isn't that where the stock market comes up right after it takes a big fall?
And then it's going to keep on dying is the idea. But
Oh, we don't need any of that.
no. That'd be unfortunate.
Yes. Okay. Forget I even brought it up.
Yeah, just focus on the soft cows. That's all you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Hanna every Wednesday in studio, and he talks it over with Jeremy Rutherford just like we do with the two-part questions. Thank you, Mark.
See you, boys.
There
All
he
right,
is, the
thank you,
great Mark
Hansie.
Hanna. Telling you, you need a financial advisor. Everybody
This is where
does.
you go,
This is
yeah.
the where you go. It's Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. And he's just good people, and now he's kind of showing off his hair. You're showing off your hair. Plowhawk never had to worry about it. He's in good shape. Big hog. Talking to Greg Warren about OnlyFans. It's all happening on this show. Iggy's now representing Greg Warren.
Right. You got a little agent gig out of it. Doesn't Iggy kind of look like the shifty agent?
In the back of a shifty comedy club. Yep. Your SEC bowl projections from the SEC podcast. Doug, Georgia versus Texas in the Sugar Bowl. And that means then Alabama would not be getting in. So they've got Alabama playing Oregon in the Cotton Bowl. LSU playing the Fighting Irish in the Brian Kelly ReliaQuest Bowl. And your Missouri Tigers with a rematch against James Franklin from his days at Vanderbilt playing in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. New Year's 6, December 30th. What day is December 30th? Is that a fries bit?
Well, we can look it up, Tim.
That's not available.
It's a Satter's bat.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Indeed, indeed.
Jackson will be at Wheelhouse Bottle Service
Yeah, take that, Nittany Lions.
And you'll be dancing.
Jim Franklin. Yeah, if they win.
I would take that, a matchup with Penn State.
Be awesome.
Mizzou
I would
beat
like
Penn
it.
State.
I don't think Penn State's going to wind up being there when it's all said and done.
Who they got left?
I just don't know why Penn State still. Like, what do you need to see from Penn State at this point? And by the way, I'm the same guy who was advocating Penn State against Michigan 5 days ago.
I mean, they're
But
going to
forget about that. Ignore that.
Yeah, we can.
They're going to win out. They got Rutgers at home and go to East Lansing, that pitiful Spartan club.
Well, they got a masturbation issue. So they will be 10-2.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on those Beavers for whatever reason. Oregon State, Doug. Corvallis.
All right, I've never watched a game. I don't think I've ever seen an Oregon State football.
What about when they played Missouri in the Sun Bowl, the Brute Sun Bowl, 2006?
Probably missed that too.
Yeah. It's on CBS. Probably her anchoring that night.
I probably missed it.
Cotton Bowl the next year, right? It was against Arkansas.
That's correct. That's correct.
Run DMC.
What do you think about that?
I don't know what I'm supposed to think about that. Cotton Bowl, Run DMC. Okay, I don't know that those things even go together, do they?
Darren McFadden.
Also from this SEC podcast time feed, Shane Beamer addressed the rumors that he was in the mix for the Mississippi State job and says, this is where I want to be. I love Columbia and want to be here a long time. I said when I was hired, this is my dream job, and I still feel that way in my mind. We're just getting started here. Was he really in the? I mean, he's probably fighting for his life there. Is he? I mean, let me tell you something. If he's operating on like a third level, he would have said, "Hey, can you ask me about the Mississippi State job?" And then I will use this as an opportunity to create the false narrative that I'm in the mix for the job, and then talk about how much I love being a South Carolina Gamecock. Because who in the world at this moment would hire a guy who is fighting for his life in South Carolina?
Who would willingly want to go from South Carolina to Mississippi State?
And what is he supposed to say? Oh, yeah, you caught me. I was actually talking to AD last night. It was great conversations. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be the definition of a lateral move?
Oh, no, it's a downgrade.
It's a downward move, I think.
South Carolina spends like the third or fourth most in college football, I think.
Mississippi State is just a tough spot.
Ever since Dak left?
Danny Mullen and Dak. But it's just a tough spot in general. Although, there'll always be the trivia. The first number one ranked team in the college football playoff era was the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
That was with Dak, right?
I would believe so, yeah.
Stark Vegas.
That we ought to go down there this week.
I don't want to. I would think
Stingrays do it.
Mississippi State's probably pretty lucky that they're in the Southeastern Conference. With all the big schools at one end there, with the Texases and the Oklahomas and some of these other juggernauts at one end. I mean, they've been there forever, so they're not going anywhere, but they're probably pretty happy and feeling fortunate that they're in it.
Why do you hate cowbells?
I don't really hate cowbells. I don't really have the need for one.
Did you bring one to Busch Stadium in 1987
No.
when Cardinal fans were alienated by what they thought was Jeffrey Leonard's comments, but it was actually Chili Davis's comments that during the 1987 NLCS that St. Louis was a cow town?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, how do they like us now?
We don't have many cows at all, do we? Have you ever seen a cow in St. Louis? I mean,
No.
you got to get pretty far out on the highway before you see a
I
cow.
played at Aberdeen a few weeks ago at the at a charity tournament, and I noticed was that par 3? Right to my left, there were some cows.
Really?
Yeah.
That's as close as they are, I think, to the city.
Yeah, Aberdeen.
I saw a deer in my neighborhood 2 nights ago for the first time ever.
There's been a carcass lying on the road in Huntley for about 4 days, right on Lindbergh, as you head toward Highway 40
Saw that the other day.
and the 101.
Yeah, feels like it.
Starkville's trash. Such a boring place. That's some beer cats not happy about it. Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month, January 2023.
I've never been there, but it doesn't sound like a great place.
Stop talking. We don't know anything. South Carolina spends nowhere near the third most in college football. Big old fan is not happy.
Guessing, but I know they're in the top 10. I'll look.
And by spending, you mean NIL money or
no,
or just on facilities?
What's going on with your charity?
Programs spent.
Just make however much noise you need to make over there.
I can't dictate what the wheels make, Doug.
Well, kick the chair up. Iggy's moving furniture around. He's in the moving mode. He's been moving for 3 days. Now he's moving everything.
The first one I looked at.
Guys, Mississippi State's in the SEC to bring up the academic standards. That's from Morrison Woods Wacko. Doug, it's not the Big Ten. Let's just be
No, it
honest
isn't.
about it.
No. But I guess Mizzou's thrilled that they got in, too. I think they wanted the Big Ten,
I would agree with you.
but are thrilled to have landed in the SEC.
And then I would agree with you. That's what I would do. I also agree with you if you said we ought to go to Mentality today, because Mentality is a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. If you're dealing with low energy or motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, you're working out, but you're not putting on muscle like you used to, and you're noticing some belly fat, you're feeling bloated, a lack of lean muscle, listen to me. Listen to me good, too. Those are symptoms of low testosterone, so you need to get tested. That might be what's causing it. Mentality can help. I got tested there. Super easy. The normal range for testosterone is large. If you've been to a doctor and they told you that you're normal without understanding the range or testing your free testosterone, it was not fully looked at, come get checked with Mentality at low T, USA.com. That is low T, USA.com. Sign up to be the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. Maybe a female. Maybe the lipstick. Wasn't the lipstick glass supposed to be at the trivia night, by the way?
She was.
She was there.
Yeah.
Was that right?
I saw her. Well, she ran away, but I saw her.
What do you mean she ran away?
Well,
when she saw you coming, she ran away?
No, the guy whose table she was at introduced himself and said, lipstick glass is here. Oh, there she is. And she looked over and just kept walking.
And where'd she go?
Just away from me.
Oh.
But I saw her.
She
Jackson, you
thought
talked to her?
she thought you were going to hit on her, maybe?
I did not.
I don't know.
Well, did you hit on any of the listeners?
No, there was one that was just adorable.
Uh-oh.
And I was going to point her out.
What was
to
his name?
Plowsy. And I said, she just went to the bathroom, Plowsy. Wait till she comes out. This may be the cutest girl I've ever seen come to one of these.
Wow.
And she never
Like
came
this.
out. Never came out of the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know.
She crawled out
Think
the
she's
window?
still there?
She must have heard me and just went out the back way. Oh, she was adorable.
Think she's still there?
Might
still
be.
at St. Gabriel's.
Oh, ask Fungo. Check the bathrooms.
Huh.
Yeah, never saw her again.
Fungo brought us wings.
You sure
Where?
did.
Excuse me?
When?
The trivia night.
I didn't see him.
You got left out again.
I guess so. Like salt and smoke. I get stuck with. I'll get left with his salad. Not that night. That night there were people taking whole platters home.
I have eaten salt and smoked chicken and Tom's recommendation of chicken stock. Son's been, Mun's been, Two's been, and guess what's going to happen tonight? Yep, salt and smoked shredded
I'm
chicken
still
again.
eating it, too.
And I couldn't be happier about it. Couldn't be happier about
I
it.
should have brought some of that brisket home. I brought enough to eat that night, but I should have brought my own tray home.
You got salad. Now that's enough. Hush.
No, I'm talking about salad when Tom would bring it in here and it'd be in the break room by the time I got in there. The ribs, Roderick comes in at 7 while we're on the air.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
like,
Tell me
"Roderick."
about it. Yeah.
Iggy was at the gal in the front row with no teeth. That's from Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month, January 2023, Beer Cats.
I don't know. Was she at your table? It fit right in with you.
Lipstick Lass. I was there, but there wasn't a good time to awkwardly say hi. I wouldn't run away from you, Iggy. Lipstick Lass.
It's awkward. The guy was going to introduce me to you. You just kept walking. That was a perfect time when he said, come over.
Uh-oh.
You have your feelings hurt?
No, she's busy. She probably had other people there she's talking to.
So a guy walks you up to this girl and says, I'd like you to introduce...
He didn't walk me up to her. He came up to the
she
stage and said, Iggy Lipstick Glass is here. I want to introduce you to her. I said, okay. And he said, hey, I forgot what he called her, what her name is.
You got down off the stage.
He didn't say Lipstick Glass, whatever her name was. And she looked over and just kept walking. Maybe he didn't know her either. He was just lying.
She says, no one told me to come over.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
jaded.
We'll play the game drop.
Someone's being lied to?
Our computer's on the
Maybe you didn't hear him. I don't know. It could be.
So one girl walked away from you, and then
She says that is
toothless
false
gal,
LOL.
The toothless gal walked into the restroom and never returned?
She wasn't toothless.
No.
She was just cute. I mean, she was adorable.
Wow, things are happening here.
Yeah.
I would have said hi to her.
How old was she?
I would have guessed 27, 28.
I got another one of those 27-year-old female listeners.
And you got a good shot with people in that
Well,
age.
yeah, it's a little old, but...
She's old?
I'll cover myself. I'm old.
Mr. Licks is making an announcement. I would like to come to the year-end awards in December. Can a table be reserved for me? That is from Mr. Licks.
No.
Oh, there's your answer.
You show up and sit wherever you want.
It'll be at Hot Shots in Webster Groves. Doug, what night is that, Jackson?
14th, I think he
December 14th. The show will be off on December 15th, so we can get effed up on the Hennessy. We go into Script Club.
VSOP.
Yeah, we haven't been to a Hot Shots in a while, have we?
Cavassier.
You're going to the strip club after the TMA Awards show?
Yeah, what else are we going to do?
God, we should talk to Hustler Club, and I should talk to Megan.
What?
And say, let's
I'm just
set
hoping
this,
to stay awake to the end of the awards show.
let's set this up where she could be maybe our guest of the year, along with Brianna Coppage, our dual guest of the year.
Not a bad idea. God, this is why he's representing Greg
He's
Warren.
an idea man.
And then she does her feature that night at like 10 o'clock. She comes to the awards. She hangs out with us. We all go over to the Hustler Club and watch her feature.
She don't need a feature.
Well, they've offered her $47,000 to do it. That's Megan. Brianna's already turned him down.
I don't think I'm going to drive over to the Hustler Club if that's okay.
I don't think we're going to see or hear from Brianna again.
Oh, I could text her right now and she'd come on the show.
I don't know. I don't think she'd come to an event.
Yeah, as far as those things, I mean, when she's making $7 million a year, she's not going to take $47,000 a strip. Although it's a quick $47,000 in her pocket, I don't know, but
she's closer to Black to Raw than she is Webster Groves.
Can they possibly make that up at a place like the Hustler Club? Can they make up $47,000 on one girl in a night?
Well, get some promotion.
Lexa table will be reserved for you. It's in the bathroom where you hand out towels, hairspray, and candy. That way you can work and attend. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko, so it sounds like they will work together on that.
Well, it'll be a nice night.
Warson Woods Wacko is providing him some help. That's nice to see a peace offering.
I know, every time I go into the restroom, I'm looking for candy.
Clip that off.
December 14th will be a nice night. We'll put you on the patio.
Oh, it could be really cold, December 14th.
It'd be good for him. He's used to working in cold weather, delivering things, and getting out of the truck when it's cold.
Real talk. Don't you like when the text starts?
No, I don't care for it much.
When I was 15, I digitized a gal who worked at the cafeteria where Hot Shots is and her cutlass in that very parking lot. That's from Steve in Wildwood.
Can I ask how old you were? You don't want to get yourself in trouble.
Mighty. Hey, Iggy, maybe don't text someone about needing a favor. Didn't work so well last time. That's from Big Ol' Fan.
What does that mean?
Big Ol' Fan, call in 636-9004-TMA. Licks can park the cars for tips that night. That's from Carlos Spicewiener. Mr. Licks can be my +1. That's from KG in O-Town. Oh, we're all getting +1s?
Well, I guess it sounds like it. KG's lining up something.
Well, we'll be on the show, so if you're sitting out in the audience, I guess you can bring whoever you want.
Well, I assume KG will be a part of it.
Why? You don't work here?
Employee.
No, he's not an employee.
He will be an employee tomorrow and Friday because I am off. And how am I vacationing? By being in the building and working. Doug, I'm a mess. I would like some psychoanalysis. If anybody's interested in doing it, I will come and see you. You can be my therapist. Let's see what we got here. Can I get my damn rooster trophy from last year's event? Vladimir Burkett has dodged my calls for the last 11 months, and it's high time I get my award. That's from Little Tommy Tribbins.
Sure. I gotcha.
You still have it?
Probably. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Stephen Wildwood's not happy with Iggy's comment. I said when I was 15, you dumb ass.
Oh.
Yeah. So? She could get in trouble. Am I not right there?
Iggy, is this the girl?
That's not her. She's pretty talented.
Beer Cats just sent an image of who he thought might be the one you were saying.
She had her table? His table?
I don't know.
No, she was very, very attractive. Very, I wouldn't say drop dead.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't say gorgeous.
I'm kind of surprised I wouldn't have spotted this.
She just was cute as a button.
You were smitten.
Yeah, you are the smitten kitten.
Yeah, kind of like that couple. I won't give their name out. And I think it was at Webster Groves. It might have been the night of Dillian Harper. That was at Dorset. But I think it was at Webster Groves when we were there last time. They came up and asked for a picture and asked if I could sign a picture. They were probably in their mid-20s. They were going to get married, going to Jamaica for honeymoon. And she could not have been cuter. She was just adorable. So it was kind of like that.
Did you hit on her, too?
No, she was getting married.
Okay.
They were just a very nice couple.
Well,
I'm not going to give the
listeners.
name out. because they're on the Facebook and people go look for her. But
Well, how about this? Breaking news. Swinghaven board member, Doug. Iggy, Mrs. Swinghaven board member, made $80 at Rhonda's while on a bachelorette party. The dancers got upset and made her get down. That's from the Swinghaven board member. How about that, Doug?
Rhonda's, that's like a lingerie shop, isn't it?
Sounds like a cafe.
Is it on Page there?
Yeah,
On
it's-
Steak and Shake?
Yeah, up there in,
It's in Overland.
I don't know, Porn Row. They got
Porn
Rachel's and Rhonda's and
That's what they call it?
They do, just to increase property value.
places still selling
3 Wendy's on that.
DVDs and magazines.
Huh. Rhonda's on Porn Row.
I'm still
I didn't
waiting.
even know it existed.
I'm still waiting for the guy to tell me what he meant by the last time I texted somebody it didn't work out.
He said, quote, when I was 15. Then you said, oh, how old were you? Word for word, what you asked. I'm being serious. I'm getting worried about you. That's from Big Ol' Fan, who hasn't called in just yet.
No.
I thought that was Stephen Wildwood that texted that in. What, are you correcting him now? He said he was 15 when he got digitalized.
Oh,
And I said, how old was she?
Digitalized.
Because that could be trouble.
sounds like you got put into a computer.
Yeah, it's like you
program.
just got upgraded.
Is it that hard to figure? Is it that hard to figure out?
So Steve got fingered by some girl
I don't know.
at Groan's cafeteria.
He said digitalized out in the parking lot. Didn't he say that?
When I have the text right here. When I was 15, I digitized.
All right. Well, how old was she? That was my question. I mean,
Ain't young
do I
enough.
need to do the math? I mean, if she was over 18, you're 15, that could be trouble.
So you're saying he has an accusation to make?
Yeah, he's not in trouble. I mean, just like when a 25-year-old teacher has sex with a 16-year-old student, he's not in trouble. He's happy as can be, but she's going to jail.
What are we
talking
about?
I'm not sure.
Unless I'm
blacked out.
unless I'm confused on what do you mean by digitalized.
I feel like I just woke up from a coma. I know JR was on at one point, and now I woke
Greg
up. and
Warren
I'm
was in here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's using fingers, correct? Am I wrong with that?
I think that's a safe assumption.
All right, well, do the math when it comes to ages.
Big Ol' Fan needs to be put in a home. You're a loser. That's from Steven time.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah. Big Ol' Fan has not laughed in
Yeah,
years.
this guy's a douche.
Oh.
Every day. And half the time you don't make sense.
Well, Doug Biggs isn't, neither is C.D. Longo, and they are with the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. They take all the complication and hassle out of your injury claim, and they deal with the insurance companies for you. And they'll take the fight head on, allowing you to get back to what's important, which is recovering from your injuries. They're online at longobigs.com. In injury cases, there's going to be a lot of money on the line. You shouldn't trust your case with just anyone. So that's where Longo Biggs comes in as TMA listeners. Doug was at the event on Saturday night. They have been to the Dotem. They are online at longobigs.com. It's Longo Biggs Injury Law, accepting personal injury, wrongful death, brain injury, and other catastrophic injury cases. It's longobigs.com, LONGOBIGGS.com. Remember, the choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. In a matter of moments, we're going to have this design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. You misspoke. I call you out, and I'm the douche. Think before you talk. It's really bad. That's Big Ol' Fan.
Oh.
Well, I told you what I said, and your text said just the opposite of what I said. So you're the one who made a fool of
This
yourself.
dude acts like we charge monthly subscriptions to listen to this. If you hate it, this is HD2, bro. Like,
Put that off.
This is what you get. This is what you're going to get.
Yeah, not quality stuff.
Fact checking is not what we do, not what I do.
We have memory issues and
proud of
checkered
that.
past.
I'm proud I haven't watched a Blues game all year.
Why would you be proud of that?
'Cause I'm making a stand. I don't support bankrupt companies.
The Blues aren't bankrupt.
Bailey's is, and that's the only way to provide it.
But the Blues aren't Bailey's.
They show it on Bailey's.
But that doesn't mean that's who they are.
Yeah, but it's me supporting a company that I don't like. No thanks.
There you go, Doug.
Oh, we're
that
bankrupt, but
makes
also
it-
we're going to collect money from you.
But that's not the Blues.
Well, the Blues just made a bad business deal, and that's what you get.
Huh.
Oh,
Well, I don't think it was
another-
bad at the time. They didn't know the place was going to go bankrupt, but they didn't know their app was going to suck.
They
And
were only they've only been here for 3 years, right?
I know it didn't take
It's
long
been
for them to go
worse.
bad, but
It's been horrible since day one. It was never a good partnership.
But they got bought out. Fox Sports Midwest sold the company.
Yeah.
So what hope did what alternative did the Blues or the Cardinals have to do at that point?
There is an alternative. Just that's what it is. I can't use Bailey's on my TV. I can't. I tried.
well, especially for the money they were offering him too. It's hard to turn down that chunk of change.
Well, yeah, you can offer a ton of money when you don't have it. I can offer somebody $60 million. It's paying.
Well, what will it take to bring you back to the Blues Nation?
Fox Sports Midwest, we took advantage of it. We took it for granted, and how easy it was to navigate the website, Twitter account, how easy it was to be on YouTube TV, cable.
Pat Paris.
Easy. Pat Paris, man.
Well,
yeah.
he went to Tucson.
Glory days.
Stouffer.
Bram Stoker.
Yeah, Robert King can come back.
It's always, and now, from now until the end of time, it'll always be pay-per-view. Like, it's never going to be on basic cable anymore. We lost that.
Well,
It's
even
gonna
that,
be-
you're paying a cable bill.
Well, true, but specifically you get 100 more channels than just paying for a specific Blues app or whatever it's going to be. It's never going to be what it was with Fox Sports. I think that's disappointing.
Yeah, Darren, we get it. You're so cool. Man, you're a badass radio guy. Hey, guys, you like that? Guess what? That's lame, because I'm cool guy Darren. Doug, that's Mr. Cider.
Come on, Cider.
Christ,
Leave us alone.
I'm also collecting a paycheck doing this right now, and you sads are up at 7 a.m. listening to it for free.
Stop giving us the business.
I really don't know what else to say. I'm the loser? You're texting into an HD2 show. There's no better definition of a loser than that.
Let me tell you something.
Kick rocks, homie.
And whoever said that, let me tell you something. Plowsy is probably the one. I'm trying to figure out how to word this.
Digitized.
Like I'm about to get patted on the back.
No, out of all the people that I know in radio, Plowsy is the least guy who's going to say, I'm cool, I'm in radio, trust me.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed when I have to explain in depth what I do and what the show's about. People get dumber. People are looking at their phones and their watch. Like, all right.
When you're telling them what you do,
Yeah, it's like,
they find
man,
other
I
things
should
to
have just
do.
stopped it. Oh, radio, cool.
Yeah.
And it's really not that cool anyway, so.
Your comeback is to call the listeners losers because they listen to your show. Well, that's just smart business. Doug, that's big old fan.
Big old fan, you've never once supported a sponsor. You're not paying my salary. People like you aren't the ones that we care about because you're not going out and buying anything from any of our sponsors. You hate listening because you hate your family, you hate your life, and you hate your whole situation. That's a small section, a very small section of the listenership, but they're very vocal. And you are definitely the leader of the pack. Look at your text and say you are a sane, rational person in any stretch of the imagination. You are a psycho.
Oh, yeah.
Big old fan call in.
Huh.
We've invited Doug for months.
Yeah, he won't call. He's too big. Man.
Yeah, why don't you call in?
He's too
We've
big.
asked you for months to call in and just talk to us on the air, especially me and Plowsy, who you trash every day. Why don't you just call in and talk to us?
Let's work this out. Let's workshop it
Oh,
together.
I don't want to talk to this dude. Oh, my God, no. I just wish he would move on and go to a different show. Like, I'm serious. I don't want to dox him. I'm not going to give him my number. But I do want to, screenshot and post it just what he said. Like, this is what a ramblings of a psychopath does.
Damn, listen to Plow Lightning. I love that take. That's from the Veiled Prophet. Hawk for President. That's from the Afton Altar Boys.
I'm 34, not 24. I'm not going to have these sads walk all over me again. I'm sorry. You want to say something, go for it. I'll have a rebuttal for that. Like, Big Ol' Fan is like the worst person ever.
Stephen Time believes Big Ol' Fan works at Bailey's. That's what Stephen Time says.
Oh, maybe.
It'd be a perfect
Maybe he
fit
does.
for him.
No, he doesn't have a job.
Half-ass app for a low-life pile of crap, man. It's like a match made in heaven.
Gosh.
How about this? Support from the Lipstick Lass. Love Plowsy. The sads are sad again today. That's from the Lipstick Lass. I wonder if she's a size queen. That's why she's a Plowhawk fan.
Like, it's weird to call somebody a loser on a show that, you're listening to and that loser ain't getting paid to do. I'm sorry, it's just the definitions are all out of whack. Who's the loser?
Oh, are you insinuating it's him?
And you all wonder why I want the Plowboy on my payroll. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko. Another job offer, Plowhawk from the Warson Woods Wacko.
What do you think?
He's got a good company, too.
Like I said, like 99% of listeners are awesome. The sad that we talk about are like the vocal minority. They're very small. But they're small but mighty, Doug.
I didn't call you a listener, not once. You called the listeners losers. It's Big Old Fan with his response.
Big old fan.
Okay, I just played footsie with you. I apologize. Or maybe it was intentional. I don't know.
That was his. I don't know.
Why would you have called Plowsy a listener? I didn't call you a listener. Well, why did you call him? He's not a listener. He works here.
He's scrambling right now. His phone's on 5% battery.
He's all over the place here. He forgets what he says a text before.
Plowsy just won my good hole. That's from the total package. Ooh, I like that.
What's the good hole?
Clip that off.
Why don't
Benny
you go?
Buckets were not in 1980.
What's the problem? What did Benny Buckets do? Who's Benny Bucket?
I like the name, actually.
Benny,
Is that
my
weirder
girl, my
than
Benny?
calling a listener a loser? Don't their views pay your salary? This is also the problem with listeners.
Okay,
that
here we go.
is not the case.
Let him have it.
Let me tell you something. If Big Old Fan stopped texting in, we'd still be doing a show. Trust me. We wouldn't be, Mark Cannon will call. I haven't heard from Big Old Fan in a while. I'm dropping my sponsorship. You would do nothing to this show if you just left.
Big Old Fan says, I didn't. I said loser. Tim misread it. Did I say I didn't call you a listener? I apologize if I said that. I didn't call you a loser, not once. You called the listeners losers. That was Big Old Fan's text.
You think his
I think he
phone's on
called-
5% battery?
He called you a loser. I think he called you a loser.
Am I Benny Buckets? That comes from Benny Buckets. Doug, what the hell's going on in the text? I
don't have any idea.
Benny Buckets isn't Benny Buckets?
No, he asked me to change his name.
And now he says he was?
But that's the thing. It's like sometimes like just change it to whatever you want. So I'm gonna
Benny Buckets, baby.
shout out Ben Sternberg, Benny Buckets.
Guys, Benny, Big Old Fan's obviously going through something. Let's kill him with kindness. We never know what people are going through. Unless he says Doug isn't hot, then he's definitely a complete psycho. That's from Cucky the Dwarf.
I agree with Cookie. You never know what a person's going to be. He's been going through it for a year.
Yeah,
So he's not getting any better, and he hasn't done anything to himself, so
yeah,
he
there's
just
a
enjoys
timetable
this.
and time limit on that one.
Plowsy, when you get all hot and bothered like this, it makes my dirt knot percolate with sex?
Don't say dirt knot.
That's
Mr.
from
Nipple.
Mr. Nipples, yeah.
Old school listener. I love him.
Can that happen for guys if they get turned on, their dirt knot percolates
I've
with
never
sex?
heard of a dirt knot.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Somebody's going to Hootie and the Blowfish.
Jay's favorite band.
Yeah, Jennings loved that Darius because he's a South Carolina Gamecock, right?
South Carolina, and Jay, Jeff, and I got fortunate enough to play golf with Darius when he was in town.
The fishermen had been on the ship for weeks without seeing any signs of life. They dragged their fishing nets along the bottom of the Atlantic to no avail. Sir, there's nothing out here, said a shirtless sailor. Wait, what's that? Just as he said it, there was a commotion right under the waves near the ship. The water percolated. Doug, that's the second time I've said percolated in a
I
minute.
know, it usually doesn't come up.
The water percolated with activity like the toilets at a trivia night. Yahoo, get the nets ready. It's the great Mid-Atlantic tuna run, yelled the captain. As they filled their nets with tuna, they cheered, but quickly their excitement turned to fear. What in Yahweh's name is that? Just then they saw the body of an extremely slimy man slip out of the nets onto the boat deck. It's a merman, yelled the hot sailor. Then it started to make a sound. I'm in. I'm a man. I'm News Channel 4's Douglas Irwin Vaughn. He stood up as the fish brine and slime coasted betwixt his massive pecs down his six-pack and eventually made its way to his fat innkeeper worm?
Innkeeper worm?
Oh, my God, it's Tuna Fish Vaughn. Those are his tufts. He does exist, said a sailor in disbelief. Take me to St. Louis, Captain, said Tuna Fish Vaughn. I've got some tuna to munch. The legend is real. To be continued. That's from Yellowfin Cucky.
That's just odd email. Yellowfin Cucky.
Today is Cucky's birthday. But did you guys talk about it? I don't know because I didn't listen to the show today. But if I had, I'm sure Tim was amazing. I was busy watching Happy Days reruns. It was the one where Fonzie got engaged. What a farce. You got to look me in the eye and tell me after all the hotties with Bobby socks on the show, Fonzie falls in love with a female equivalent of Ken Strode. The gal was every day of 70 years old.
Every bit.
I can only read what's in the prompter.
Pinky Tuscadero?
Stop it, Pinky Tuscadero. More like Stinky Tuscadero. Her sister Leather Tuscadero. I'd believe that. Speaking of Susie Quattro, this email is really about the fourth time I had sex with another bloke. You like that, Doug?
No, I don't.
I like that. Another bloke. Fenton Noggles on Old Gravoy. Dude was in the drive-thru when he cranked down the passenger window in his passenger window.
Write better than this.
Hop on in, Buster Brown. It's go time. Honesty didn't even get his name, but the salty surprise he gave me at Minnehaha Park from his unzipped
You have to write
khakis
better if you want them read.
was nothing short of a delicious, tasty treat. That's from E, and then a middle name of Norm, and then the last name is Cock.
E. Normcook.
Paraphrasing,
Eastern European.
but I don't have any human interaction outside of my 3-hour workday with daily 20-minute sabbaticals while my show is on air at Hubbard, besides trying to catch Learn or turning the break room into a Goodwill, maybe the saddest thing I've ever heard. I know he used to have a jailhouse lady he'd write to via carrier pigeon. So can we get him back on an Adopt a Potosi 3 inmate program? Or maybe have him gigolo in a Puff Daddy jacket doing a Conor McGregor walk outside of Filoni's to find a Marlboro Red centerfold model with the smoker's neck hole and voice box thing? Or someone pay Runner Girl to be his full-time dorm caretaker? Can someone revive the Dillian Harpoon AI program to call Ken, since he'll think it's a real human person noshing on a family-sized Marie Callender pot pie? Or actually just let him totally dismantle Greg Warren's life in a matter of 2 weeks? Anyway, you guys talked about road rage, and I have a practical solution to the matter that I witnessed and is 100% true. In college, I had one genius friend who anytime someone cut him off, he'd roll down the window and shake his fist holding a big double-sided dildo at the offending driver. Immediately disarms the whole situation, and I'm sure the sink vomit chick can let the fats and sads in the audience were to acquire some. Los Wien.
Carlos Spicy Wiener.
You've heard of the Sunday scaries when you start to get anxious because the weekend's almost over? Well, I've got a case of the Wednesday worries because, like most married men in St. Louis, I can't stop thinking about how Tim is going to be gone on Thursday and Friday. Counting the weekend, we will have to endure 4 grueling days without him. As a way to cope with the McKernan withdrawals, I've started a new Sound Story fan page. In doing so, I hope Tim notices me and how much I admire him. I just want him to be proud of me. It's not creepy either because hundreds of other sads have joined the page too. Besides, I can't technically be labeled as a stalker until he gets a restraining order. I vow to post hourly updates that no one asked for on the TMA fan page to prove my undying loyalty. I'm also anxious because if the handsome fellow with the perfect calves isn't running point tomorrow, that means the elderly golf rivals enthusiast is going to get a lot more airtime. So we'll be forced to hear more about SGO Kai's merch or a gigantic fan that controls the weather. Iggy admitted that he didn't have a good show on Tuesday, and Greg Warren took up a lot of his airtime today, so that means the preppy Nautica connoisseur will be looking for some redemption on Thursday. Couple that with the fact that KG will be in attendance tomorrow, we could be looking at a Strode-centric program for the ages. Strap in, boys, because I'm predicting some severe turbulence. Hurry back, Tim. We miss you already. Doug, that's from the JV golf coach.
JV golf coach.
And finally, congratulations to former Cardinal Skip Schumacher on winning NL Manager of the Year. So just to recap, the bench coach of the 2022 93-win NL Central champion Cardinals just won NL Manager of the Year in his first year with the Marlins, while the pitching coach from that 2022 team, Mike Maddox, just won the World Series in his first year with the Rangers. Well, meanwhile, the clown show that lost 91 games in 2023 and who scapegoated catcher/DH Wilson Contreras for the early season pitching woes are all being brought back for 2024. Think back to 2 years ago after the mysterious Schilt firing. The Cardinals interviewed Schumacher for the managerial position, but it was always Marmole's job to lose as the groomed internal candidate. I wrote at the time, another key thing I want from the next manager is experience with other clubs. Hiring another guy who didn't play at MLB for real, who has spent the bulk of their coaching careers with the Cardinals, is more of the same. Skip at least has some experience in other clubhouses for winning teams outside of St. Louis. Of course, they hired Marmol's the manager, and Skip had to settle for the bench coach position. The Cardinals' inherent bias towards guys who weren't good enough to make the show and pivoted to the Cardinals' internal manager grooming program at a young age is one of the organization's fatal flaws. Nobody in the room is going to point this out because everybody left in the room is part of the problem. Skip Schumacher should be the Cardinal manager, and Matt Holliday should be the Cardinal pitching coach. But the Cardinals don't get out of their own way, and they seemingly are incapable of correcting course. Oh, by the way, Iggy, I know you were wondering, but Darius Rucker has not, in fact, left Hootie and the Blowfish and will be part of the upcoming tour. Is that a new report? That's from Buck Swope. And that's what we have for the design area. It's 10:03. I got to go.
Carlos Spicy winner.
Cocky, happy birthday.
I'm going to go with, I like Buck Swopes, actually, even though it's kind of serious. I liked it. Cocky is what? It doesn't matter. We got to go. Bye.
Hey, this is Joe Buck. We all have people we miss and who we would do anything.